Want to know how to get unlimited fruits? Or what the absolute best way to level up is? Here are 495 super secret Blox fruits things you probably didn't know. This one is very important, and a lot of new players don't know about it. If you're new to the game, get yourself an elemental fruit. Elemental fruits allow you to farm NPCs without them being able to hit you, but you must be at least one level higher than them. Once you have those two, just go out and farm NPCs, preferably bosses. If you wonder what your primary goal in the first sea should be, I suggest you get a light fruit. It's arguably the best fruit for grinding in the first sea. It's an elemental fruit. It has area of effect moves, and on top of that, it allows you to quickly get to your destination. You may think that you should get to the higher level islands as quickly as possible, but that's not right. That should be your goal, but it doesn't mean you have to force it just to satisfy your ego. Stick to the islands in your level range, as it's always better to complete the same tasks more times with ease than to take far more difficult tasks and give your soul into completing it and getting killed in the end. It'll just slow you down. For some reason, many new players are still sleeping on bosses. I don't know if they're scared to fight them, but boss fights reward you with a lot of XP. Beating a boss will get you a huge chunk of experience, and you might even get a new fruit. The max bounty a pirate can have in game is 30 million, which is a huge number, but the chances of finding and killing someone with such a high bounty are pretty low. That's why it's easier to focus on collecting bounty from lower level players. It'll take you an hour to earn about 300,000. The only downside is that you'll make new enemies. If you head over to the haunted castle and climb on top of it, you'll find 3 diamond chests. That's an easy 30,000. And the best thing is that you can loot it again just by server hopping. Here's another form of server hopping, but this one pays a lot. We all get way too excited to kill the boss, but feel devastated when we find out he's not there. Luckily, server hopping exists, so just hop on another server where you'll probably find that boss and keep repeating. I don't think there's an easier way to get $500,000 than to kill a sea beast. All you need to do is get a nice ship, preferably one with high HP, and just drive far from any island. Now you'll have to spend some time circling around or simply AFKing because it'll take a moment for the sea beast to spawn. But once it spawns, use any ability you have to kill it and you'll get rewarded with about 500,000. Keep in mind, the quicker you kill it, the more money you get. And not only that, but every next sea beast you kill will bring you more belly. I bet most of you didn't know that Indra isn't actually the founder of Blox fruits. People just think he is because he appears in the game as a boss and NPC, but he's actually a co-creator. The guy who founded Blox fruits is called MyGame43, the same guy that founded Elemental Battlegrounds. I mean, he's still a co-creator, but he's the one that founded the game. And did you know that the first guy to ever join Blox fruits as a player and buy Darkblade is the founder of Grand Piece, which is a game similar to Blox fruits since it's based on One Piece just like Blox fruits is. This was confirmed by Indra through a tweet. Did you know that each time you trade with someone in Blox fruits, that trade is recorded in the game's official Discord? Because of this, we now know that the first trade ever was made in September 2021. Legends say that the first island to be made in Blox fruits was originally huge. Developers had to resize it because the new players didn't know what to do or where to go. The map was literally so big that some players didn't even know that seas existed. Did you know if you head over to the bottom right corner of Marine Base, climb on the tower and jump down, you will find Parlous, an NPC that sells you the Black Cave. He will sell it to you quickly by saying he bought it for 100,000 Robux from some kid, and now he's selling it for only 50k and needs the money right now because he has to go to church. This one is really cool. Get ready by going near the water and equipping Phoenix Fruit. Spawn yourself a boat, activate Phoenix's X ability, which is healing, sit in the boat and just exit it. Now you've got yourself a cool animation that will last forever. It will literally haunt you for the rest of your life. If you head over to the cafe on the second sea and go into the corner where those pictures are, look up and you'll see a pillar you need to jump onto. Once you're up there, take a careful look at the wall and you will see some text. It says it exists, but no one actually knows what this is supposed to mean or if it's just an Easter egg without any actual meaning. What do you think? Next time you're using DoZ, instead of just clicking it, hold it. It will travel much farther and deal so much more damage. If you don't have enough Robux to buy a speedboat and you don't have any friends that can give you some, don't worry because you can just make your regular boat slightly faster with the help of an auto clicker. Just activate the auto clicker and let it spam while you're riding a boat. This will speed you up a little bit, and I guess it's better than nothing. I bet you didn't know that you can get into the awakening room through the cafe. Once you're in the cafe, head downstairs and stand in the right corner, the one across the frog room. You'll need Buddha for this one. Once you're in that corner, flash step through the wall and shift into Buddha. Now find your way to the awakening room and simply flash step inside. The menu will pop up if you try to awaken your fruit, but but the game will just say you cannot talk to this NPC. Combining two fruits and Blox fruits is usually impossible, but there's a glitch that allows you to combine Buddha and Falcon. First equip Falcon, and then simply equip Buddha. Once you transform into the Buddha, you'll keep Falcon's wings, and more importantly, its ability to jump extremely high. When you combine Falcon's jump with Buddha's size, you'll be able to jump way higher. I'm sure some of you already know about this one. It's pretty famous. You can glitch your sword to be 10 times bigger than your character. While you're untransforming from Buddha, quickly equip your sword and just take a look at how big it is. It is useful as you can hit much larger while still being a small target. It gives you the normal hitbox of a Buddha user. However, it's not the best idea to use this on public servers. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you need to get out of there as quickly as you can, and you're on low HP, just use Venom. The lower your health is, the faster Venom will be. I also love how Venom's Noxia shot skill auto-aims to the nearest enemy. Only 1% knew this one. Many of you already know about the secret room located right below the cafe, but not everyone knows its name. When you enter the room, you'll see a whiteboard. Look behind it and you'll see that it says King Toad's house. A long time ago, you could find pretty valuable loot in it. We're talking diamonds and gold. Take a look at that briefcase on the floor. It used to be full of cash. I know I'm not the only one who tried to escape the raid at least once. Why? Because you can still collect some bounty without risking your life. First locate the nearest island, and then shine that flight to get there. It may take you a while, but it's worth it. Actually, it's not. But it feels good to know that you can do that. Even the swan ship looks more appealing than this boat. Everything about it is weird, but I'll still show you the way to acquire it. You'll have to be at the cafe, run out, and climb on top of the factory. Now, listen carefully. At one of those windows, there will be an NPC that can sell you this boat. I won't tell you his exact location though. Go find it yourself. The goofy boat costs 1,500 fragments, and it's super slow. So why would developers make that bad boat? Well, it's actually not so bad, and even though it looks like a 3-year-old kid's sketch, it has 5,000 horsepower, making it one of the most durable boats in the game. Also, it's not called a goofy boat. Its real name is the flower boat. I bet you didn't know that you can lie down in the chair in Blox fruits. In order to do so, you'll need a god-human C move. Just press C while standing really close to a chair, let off, and voila! That will actually become your regular sitting. Just make sure not to fall asleep. Did you know that there's a hidden key in Blox fruits? This key is a rare drop obtained by either killing the awakened Ice Admiral or killing one of the 2 NPCs at the Ice Castle, but the chances of them dropping it are really low. 2% low to be exact. The hidden key is used to obtain the Rengoku sword and then a samurai title by equipping it. You definitely didn't know about this one. If you hold Dragon Breath Z move while entering a raid, you will get teleported way far from the raid area once you enter it. Is this a glitch or a secret made on purpose? The one thing I really love about Dragon Breath is the Dragonborn title you get once you buy it. I want to know why this ability is so underrated and why no one is talking about it. Rubber's slingshot ability literally transforms you into Spider-Man. It allows you to hook onto buildings and pull up to them, which makes it perfect for when you're being chased by a player that's way stronger than you, since with this you can easily escape him. Don't make the same mistakes I did. I never stored any of my fruits in the beginning because they were so cheap and easy to obtain. But when I reached the 3rd sea, I still never stored any of my fruits until one player killed me when I had leopard in my hand. I ended up losing that fruit, but since that day I always store my fruits no matter if it's a kilo or a Buddha. This is one of the most stupid mistakes players make. It's leaving a game with items, and I'm not talking about swords or guns that stay once you join back. I'm talking about fruits, keys, and any other items that disappear once you leave the game. That's another reason why you should always store your fruits. You probably already know that combat fighting style is the style you get when you first join the game, and what you should never do is stick to it. Literally any other fighting style is better than combat. For example, you can get a dark step for relatively cheap as a beginner, which is far better than combat. The only reason why people decide to stick to combat is because once you switch it for another fighting style, you can never retrieve it. So it's a flex to still have a combat and be at max level. But believe me, not switching your fighting style will slow down your leveling up process. There are some pretty useless items in Blox fruits, such as Usopp's hat or barriers. But did you know that guns are literally useless too? There is absolutely no gun that will win in a fight against a solid fruit. So yeah, just stay away from guns and don't pretend to be Usopp from One Piece. Most of you didn't know that Magma used to have a flying move. It was the same thing as controllable light fly, but way slower. Still, many players used it back in the day, especially to travel to other islands or escape from enemies. As you flew with this ability, you used to leave a trail of magma underneath your feet, which looked pretty cool. However, this was removed when Magma V2 came into the game. No matter how new the game is to you, you obviously know that you can't go in the 2nd sea if you're still in the 1st sea, nor in the 3rd sea if you're still in the 2nd sea, or 1st. But back in 2021, when the 3rd sea was added, players found a glitch that let you get in the 3rd sea without a need completed level. All you had to do is travel to this one location that was in the 3rd sea from the 2nd sea, exit the game, and join the friends game that was in the 3rd sea. And there you go. Now you're officially but unofficially in the 3rd sea. How cool is that? YouTubers are happy that this one changed. We all know that when you want to buy a fruit using Belly, you have to wait for it to be in stock. But back in the day, you had to wait for it to be in stock even if you were buying it with Robux. This made it super difficult for players to get all the fruits they needed. I'm glad they changed this one. If you're a new player, you definitely don't know who Santa Claus was. Santa Claus was an NPC that was added to the game every Christmas. He used to sell limited time accessories and a secret boat that you also didn't know existed. Obviously, the boat was a literal sleigh, and it's one of the rarest items to have in Blox Fruits. Along with him, the new currency was added too, candies. Each time you killed an NPC, you'd get candies, which you would later use to purchase items from Santa Claus. The first item you could buy from him was the elf hat, a hat that didn't have any special use. And the second item was Santa's hat, which was basically the same thing. And the third item was the bow. The first time Santa Claus appeared in the game was in the first Christmas event, update 13 to be more precise, but he was removed in the very next update. But he was added again in update 17, but removed once again in the next update. Drop a like if you'd like to meet Santa Claus. For update 20, Blox Fruits developers really said let's rework everything, which is why they changed most, if not all, swords in this update. I'm not talking about only the design, but also their skill sets as well as animations that play out for each skill. They look way better now and will have your character looking like a pro. So try those out with the swords you have laying around. Even if you thought they weren't that good, you might like them now, who knows? Another great addition is a brand new island that has been added to the 3rd sea. It's called Tiki Outpost and it's filled with a bunch of new NPCs, 5 to be more precise. You can grind on it only if you're above level 2450. There are 4 enemies on this island called Isle Outlaw, Island Boy, Isle Champion, and Sun-Kissed Warriors. It's basically the final island in the whole game. Stick to the end of the video to find out what you can do in it. You might think, oh, they only added one new island, but you probably didn't know they reworked some of the old islands as well. The majority of these island reworks have been done for the islands in the 1st and 2nd sea, with their overall quality now being much better, which is to make sure that new players enjoy the game even more than before. Even though some of the changes didn't appear yet, it's expected that the majority of them will become visible later in the coming months. We all know that the level cap before this update was 2450. In fact, it stayed the same for almost an entire year since update 17.3.5 came out. But in update 20, it was increased by 100. So now the current level cap is 2550. Imagine being the first one to reach that level. As soon as you launch the game for the first time, instead of killing NPCs on the spawn island, go over to Fountain City and stand behind this wall to attract them. You can hit them, but they can't do anything to you. You will reach level 60 just by killing 3 NPCs. If you're really curious and want to find out what the Blox Fruits map is made on, I recommend you go to the mansion on the 2nd sea. Put your graphics at the lowest level possible, and jump up in the sky as high as you can. You can do this even if you're a beginner since all you need is Kilo's F ability. You will freeze mid-air and look around you. It's a globe. Hopefully One Piece doesn't sue Blox Fruits for copyright since the map is still sphere-shaped, and not a cube like all the fruits. The only reason why some players don't like using light fruit is because once you activate the flight light, you can't steer while flying. It only travels straight. And if someone is not using the light fruit for flying, that's probably because they don't know. All they have to do is awaken the fruit, and there you go. Now you can navigate where you want to fly. Most of you already know who Xiolus is, an NPC that's basically Blox Fruits Casino. He sells you random fruits and pros avoid him because they know he's actually a scammer. The chances of him giving you something good are super low. Everyone knows that using cheats will get you banned, but did you know that you can get banned even if you use cheats on a private server? Even if you're the only one playing that server, you can still get banned. And if you use cheats back in 2021, but you don't use it anymore, admins can actually still ban you if they ever come across any proof that you did it. This glitch will definitely get you banned if the admin catches you using it. It's called the invisible glitch and it's easy to execute. All you need to do is get a portal fruit, press X, and stand still. Once the ability turns off, you will remain invisible as long as you don't move. There's so many ways to prank people with this one, but unfortunately it's not allowed. Next time someone kills you 5 times in a row, think again before cussing him out in chat. This can easily get you banned and it's definitely not worth it. For every swear word an admin catches you saying, you will receive 1 warning. Once you get 15 warnings, you will will be banned. Wait, does this mean I can swear 14 times without getting banned? Some insane glitches are completely allowed, but this one is bannable, and I'll explain why. This glitch makes you way too fast. All you need to do is get a spirit fruit, and spam click while the spirits are on the blue side. Then switch to another fruit, and you will notice a slight change in your speed. But if you repeat this a couple of times, you will become way too fast. Glitches like this one aren't actually bannable, but if the admin catches you speeding around, you'll have no proof that you're only glitching, and he'll think you're cheating and will get you banned. I think I'd rather just use Buddha. We all can't stand this guy anymore because he almost always disappoints us. I'm obviously talking about the Blox fruit dealer, who's the main fruit seller in the whole game. He's called a dealer because he never has the same or all of the fruits in stock. Each fruit has a different chance to be in stock, but no matter what, he'll always have a minimum of 3 fruits in stock at any given moment, and 2 of them are always rocket and spin fruit. You can buy a fruit that's in stock an unlimited number of times, but in case you're paying with Robux, he will somehow get that fruit in stock just for you. Not only that, but if you buy the fruit with Robux, you'll have it permanently, which means you will always be able to equip it. But many of you don't know that his stock changes every 4 hours, and that you can find him at 7 different locations in the game. But what do you do if you want to get a fruit ASAP but have no money, a bad fighting style, no fruits or anything? If you said beg for fruits, you're not wrong. That's another way to get fruits and Blox fruits, but does it actually work? Well, it depends on how you do it, but you're basically testing your luck. So what's the best way to beg for fruits? Your chances of someone giving you a fruit are higher if you're in the second sea dressed as a new player. Being in the second sea is important because people there are richer, and dressing as a new player, well, that's self-explanatory. Once you're there, head over to Blox Fruit Gacha and wait for players to roll fruits. When someone comes, the chances of them rolling an unwanted fruit are super high. So all you need to do is start spamming, "Please bro, I need that," and they're probably going to give it to you. Go and test this. Who knows, maybe you'll even get a Buddha. Okay, maybe not a fruit that good, but if you're willing to gamble and simply buying a fruit of your choice is too boring for you, don't worry. Just head over to the jungle, cafe, or mansion, where you'll find a Blox Fruit Gacha. He sells you a random fruit once you pay, but the price always depends because it's calculated according to your level. You need to be at least level 50 in order to purchase a random fruit from this guy, and the price of fruit for level 50 players is 32,350 belly. But if you're not sure how much you're gonna pay, here's how the price is calculated. Take your level, so let's say 50, and subtract 1, then multiply that number by 150. So in this case, it's 49 times 150, which is 7,350, and then just add 25,000. This would be the best way to get fruits if there was no time limitation. You can't just buy fruit after fruit, you have to wait 2 whole hours after each purchase. Even though it's one of the most fun ways to get fruits, the chances of getting a good one are lower compared to its spawn chance. However, don't stop rolling the fruits because once you get a fruit that's worth 1,000,000 belly or more, you'll get a title Luck of the Draw, which is super cool. Wait to hear that some people still search for fruit. Searching for fruits is the worst way to get fruits in the whole game, especially if you're doing it without a fruit notifier. A fruit spawns in the game every hour, which means 20 fruits spawn in one server a day. But on the weekends, 32 fruits spawn in one server in a day. The main problem with this method is that you can't know where the fruit is without a notifier. And even once you spend 2,700 Robux and get it, someone will almost always be ahead of you. This is just the worst way to grind for your fruits. This is the most useless way to gain fruits in the entire game. It's not even fruits, but a fruit. A single fruit that costs 97 Robux. And no, it's not some expensive high value fruit. It's a rocket fruit. You can buy this 97 Robux rocket fruit from a Wenlock, which is basically a doghouse located in the Kingdom of Rose, literally right beside the Arrow NPC. Once you get there and talk to a dog, he'll woof woof you into buying this fruit, saying you can trade it for a special microchip. If you buy or have already bought this fruit, you're either too rich or a newbie with 0 experience who has exactly 97 Robux on his account. If you're a new player, there's no way you know about Spectator mode. Spectator mode gives you the ability to fly your camera through the map, and this feature was so useful and overpowered. You were literally able to go from island to island and see if a fruit spawns somewhere. The command to get into this mode was Control-Shift-P, but unfortunately it was removed, and nowadays only admins are able to get into Spectator mode. All the players that first launched the game after update 20 was out will never know how bad Kilo fruit was. It somehow managed to survive 4 years in the game, and now it's been switched out for a new fruit called Rocket. Kilo cost only $5,000, and it was usually the first fruit you obtained. It was literally a symbol for being poor in Blox fruits, and many players used it to buy raids. Most of Kilo's moves were AoE, and they weren't very useful. So while it's a good thing it got removed, I'm still sad it's gone. Throughout the game's development, developers added a bunch of codes. For those who don't know, codes give you things like double XP, a stat reset, or a single belly. But many of you don't know that a lot of codes got removed from the game, and these are just some of those that got removed. RIP to them. If you're an OG player, you'll know that the starter menu used to look way different back in the day. The characters representing each side are now different, but can you guess why? If you said to make the game look more appealing, you're half right. But the main reason why the characters were switched, especially on the pirate side, is because the pirate was represented by Buggy the Clown. Buggy the Clown is one of the most known characters from the One Piece anime, and One Piece almost sued Blox Fruits because of this. I'm starting to see why they removed it. When you first start playing Blox Fruits, you'll start on the starter island. In this phase, it's important to optimize your XP gain, and to do this, you'll be required to kill NPCs, bosses, server hop, upgrade your stats, and get better fruit. But in order to make this process so much faster, your first goal should be to get a good elemental fruit, preferably a magma or ice fruit. These fruits will allow you to farm NPCs without them being able to hit you. You just need to be one level above them in order for this to work. And at this stage, don't bother to get a better sword or fighting style, just stick to the fruit. Remember, you're still in the first sea, so when you get a good elemental fruit, your next primary goal should be to work your way up to lightning fruit, since it's the best fruit for the first sea. When leveling up, you'll need to move from island to island to make the process much faster. But many of you don't know that you can actually skip a few islands at the beginning, which will save you so much time. When you first spawn, immediately get a free boat and head to Fountain City Island. There you will be able to kill NPCs that are a way higher level than you are, which means much more XP. But how? There's a special wall on this island. Why is it special? Well, it gives you the ability to kill NPCs without them being able to hit you, even if you're only level 1. You just need something to lure them to this wall, jump to the other side, and hit them until you kill them. This is such an important trick, yet many of you still don't do it. Once you get a good fruit for the sea you're in, it's important to stick to it. If you got a magma fruit in the first sea, don't switch it for another fruit unless it's lightning. Why? Well, you'll lose all the mastery you had on that fruit, which benefited you way more than a new fruit will for who knows how many levels. You'll certainly not lose them, but you will start from 0 mastery on that new fruit. The rule is the same for swords and fighting styles. Pick one that's good and never change it. It's absolutely key to know how to fight, and it's not just about swords, fighting styles, and fruits, but it's also about technique. Most of your weapons are area of effect weapons, which means the damage is done to the field rather than to a single NPC at a time. When doing quests, there's a technique that will help you do these way faster. Once you start a quest, go from one NPC to another and just hit them once to lure them at you. When you get a few of them chasing you, start using your moves and hits on them. Because of the area of effect, with one move you will deal damage to all of them, and it'll take you way less time to kill them than if you were to do it one by one. I've always wondered why there are igloos we can't enter on the docks for, but I just found out that you can actually enter these. Just get the perfect angle and flash step inside of them, where you will find a secret chest. I think these are the least looted chests in the whole game. What's even better is that you can see through them once you're inside. It's a perfect hiding spot since you can see everyone, but no one can see you, and you can use it to make sure your friends don't sneak up on you. Well, I can't because I don't have any friends. The Great Tree is the third island in the third sea, and if you have access to it, you might consider yourself a pro. But you probably didn't know about this NPC that lets you extend your crew by 1 slot for 2,000 fragments. His name is Crew Captain, and he'll let you extend your crew up to 30 slots. So if you want to have a crew with 30 people, you'll need 30,000 fragments to extend it up to 30 slots. Jeez, that's a lot of fragments. But in case you don't have a crew and talk to him, he'll just say, "What's up? Nothing much, man. What about you?" Did you know that there's a hidden maze in the Marine Fortress? This is definitely one of the most interesting secrets hidden in the first sea. But unfortunately, if you don't have a dark blade, you won't be able to enter it. You need to go to the back of the fortress and look for a wall that's a different shade than the rest. Open it with your dark blade and voila! This maze is mainly used to obtain a love letter, which is needed to complete the Sun Quest, which upgrades the dark blade to the V2 variant. There's no way you already knew about this. You probably don't even have a dark blade, but at least you have friends. But here's an NPC many of you still don't know about. If you go to the green zone in the second sea and get all the way up to the highest point on the largest plant, you'll find an NPC called Mysterious Man. He will sell you the true triple katana for 2 million belly, but you must have all 3 legendary swords, Sadi, Wando, and Shisui. You can buy these from the legendary sword dealer, who only spawns at certain intervals throughout the game. On top of that, you must have 300 mastery on all 3 of these swords. Only then will you be able to get a true triple katana. In order to obtain the first title in this video, you need to buy something from the legendary sword dealer or master of auras. We all know that the sword's legendary dealer is selling costs 2 million belly, but that's the price you pay if you want your second name to be the collector. But if you think that's hard, try defeating 20 players, each kill taking bounty or honor, all without dying in the same server. I'm sure you'll spend the whole day trying to complete that, but the Raging Demon title will totally be worth it. The Flash is always the fastest, and if you want to get this title, you'll need to complete a raid in under 3.5 minutes. That should be easy if you've got Buddha, and at this point we all know you can awaken any fruit using Buddha. Did you know that for reaching an honor of 20 million or more, you receive a Blue Fleet Admiral Emerald title. It'll take you quite some time to get this one. Starting with the fighting style every single player had. Combat, obviously. Combat is the starting fighting style that you get upon first joining the game. This is the weakest and least commonly used fighting style in the entire game, especially among 3rd seed players, since most players switch to a different fighting style. Because of that, it's ironically considered the rarest fighting style. Some players also like to keep combat and max its mastery for fun, but if you want to level up as quickly as possible, I recommend to switch to another fighting style as soon as you can. Compared to the other options of the 1st C, combat is generally weak. Keep in mind that if you switch to another fighting style, you'll never again be able to obtain combat. It's literally a flex to have a combat style in the 3rd C, and there should definitely be a title for it. Something like Combat Combatant of Combat. Moving on to the Dark Step, one of 2 fighting styles that has 4 moves. Dark Step is a leg-based fighting style that most people obtain in the 1st C, but it's also obtainable in the 2nd and 3rd C. When you activate Aura while having Dark Step equipped, Aura will appear on your legs instead of your arms. This is entirely visual and provides no additional buffs, but it's still a cool detail. This fighting style can be bought for 150,000 belly from the Dark Step teacher, who is located in the Pirate Village in the 1st C. When it comes to the 2nd C, you can obtain Dark Step via the same NPC on the lava side of Hot and Cold Island, and in the 3rd C, it can be obtained once again via the same NPC located at the castle on the sea. Is it just me or does this rhyme? The first Dark Step move is Z, which is Flying Kick. The second is X, which is Breakdance. Third is C, which is Barrage, and the last one is V, which is Overheat. All of these moves are area of effect moves, and the first move has an aiming feature. Dark Step is the cheapest fighting style out of all the fighting styles, and it's pretty good for grinding in the 1st C due to low knockback and high AoE. Subscribe if you ever use this style. But this 3rd fighting style is perfect for you if you love electricity. Of course, I'm talking about Electric, which is a fighting style obtainable in all Cs. Electric is a fighting style you must master if you want to get Electric Claw fighting style in the 3rd C, which is Electric's successor. Electric can be learned for 500,000 belly from the Mad Scientist, who is located on the ground level of Skylands behind the rock, and it's got 3 moves: Stomp, Electrical Tackle, and Electrical Floor. This fighting style was added in Update 2 and reworked in Update 17.3. While it's equipped, your hands will be covered in electricity, which is purely for cosmetics. But the interesting thing about this fighting style is that it cannot harm rubber users, because in real life, rubber doesn't conduct electricity. All moves are also ground-based, which might be Electric's only downside. The next fighting style is Water Kung Fu, which is also a bridge you must cross to get another fighting style in the 3rd C, Sharkman Karate, an upgraded version of Water Kung Fu. This fighting style can be bought for 750,000 belly from the Water Kung Fu teacher, which can be found in the underwater city in the 1st C, but I don't really see the point in having this in the 1st C, let alone 2nd and 3rd. It's pretty overrated and there are better options, but you'll have to go through it if you want to obtain Sharkman Karate. Water Kung Fu has 3 moves: Steam Charge Fist, Deadly Shower, and Heavy Water Punch. All moves are area of effect and don't have that big of a knockback, so it's alright for farming. It's not recommended for PvP, however, because it's quite slow, but its upgraded version, Sharkman Karate, is recommended because of its high combo potential. Did you know if you've earned over 100 million belly, you're still not in the top 1% of players? That's because the chances of earning more than 100 million belly are 3.12%. That doesn't sound like a lot, but believe me, it is. In order to be in the top 1%, you'd have to earn around 280 million belly. The Holiday Cloak is a mythical accessory, which means it's pretty hard to obtain it. You have a 3% chance to get this item while opening the present at the North Pole, but the fact that you can only get it during the Christmas event makes it way more rare and difficult to obtain. Drop a like if you have the Holiday Cloak. The Hallow Essence is an item that was added in Update 16 and is used for spawning the raid boss Soul Reaper at the Haunted Castle. This item is only obtainable in the 3rd C by either praying at the graveyard or getting it from the Death King via random surprise. Both of these methods are difficult and the chances of getting this item are 2.5%. One guy even said he was grinding trying to get it for 5 whole days and still didn't get it. Swan glasses have always been a really favored piece of accessory in the game. These powerful glasses boost a range of buffs that will help you in various PvP situations, including high defense, cooldown reduction, movement speed, and more. Its only downside is how difficult it is to obtain them. You need to kill a Dawn Swan in the 2nd C and pray that he drops them because the drop chance of his glasses is only 2.49%. That means you'll probably have to kill him 40 times in order to secure these glasses. Starting off with a fruit that we would have all loved to see in Blox fruits, which is Magnet Fruit. This is a pretty interesting one considering many players have been waiting for it for years. Magnet would have some nice moves that deal a lot of damage. I suppose it would have at least one area of effect move and one projectile move. However, its most interesting move would be Magnetic Pull. When activated, it would pull enemies around you closer and then you could just kill them. This would be so good for pranking players and getting on the nerves of your enemies when they're trying to to escape. Shout out to all the super talented people who've made these custom fruits. Definitely make sure to go check them out. We already have candy and Blox fruits in the form of currency, but imagine having a candy fruit. Wait, wouldn't that be too good? Because, well, candy is good. We all love candy, so I suppose this fruit would heal your enemies? Luckily, no. This fruit would make your enemy's stomach hurt because they'd eat way too much of it. This fruit should definitely have a sword shaped like a lollipop, and it would be pretty cool because when you're eating it, you would literally eat candy. Since we already have a leopard fruit, it would be a good idea to make a giraffe fruit. Since we're making a safari, giraffe fruit's transformation would be so cool. You'd be super tall and your range would be huge. Maybe even bigger than Buddha's transformed range. I just don't know how interesting the moves would be, but I'm sure developers would find a way to make them really good. Moving on to the next one, we have a stone fruit. Just look how crazy this transformation looks. This is a fan-made concept, and the first move is Stone Gauntlet, but it's nothing compared to the second move called Stone Spikes. This move would literally spike up your enemies from the ground, and oh, that would have hurt in real life. The next move is called Colossal Spikes, and it's similar to Ice's Surge move, but the highest mastery stone move looks too good. First, a stone ball is thrown at the enemy, and then hit with a stone spear before it hits the enemy, causing the ball to explode. This move is called Stone Spear, and it's definitely something I'd love to see in Blox fruits. Subscribe if you would too. Did you know that the first accessory 90% of players get is a black cape? Considering it's the easiest accessory to get, you'd think it'd be bad, but it's actually great. Black cape is a rare accessory you can buy from Parlous, who's located in Marine Fortress in the first sea. It costs 50,000 belly, and the only requirement to buy it is to be level 50. This accessory gives you plus 100 health and energy, and 5% more damage on anything, whether it's a fruit or a sword. Subscribe if this was your first accessory. Moving on to the next accessory, which is also obtained at the Marine Fortress. We've got the coat. This coat is Vice Admiral's favorite piece of clothing, and with some luck, you might get it after killing him. This accessory gives you plus 200 energy and 10% on melee attacks. This is a great accessory for players who primarily use fighting styles. Is there anything cooler in Blox fruits than cool shades? I don't think so. Cool shades are the accessory you have a chance of obtaining upon killing Cyborg, the last boss in the first sea located at Fountain Island. This accessory gives you plus 100 health and energy, 7.5% damage on any attack, and 17.5% faster running speed. Safe to say this is the best accessory you can get in the first sea. And the last accessory from the first sea that's worth mentioning are Tomio Ring. This accessory can be bought from Yoshi at the second island of Skylands, and it gives you 10% more damage on fruit attacks. This is a great accessory for players who primarily use fruits, but it's pretty expensive, costing 500,000 belly, at least compared to other similar accessories. If you got yourself a VIP server just so you could farm some fruits, there's one thing you should know. Specifically on a VIP server, only 2 devil fruits will spawn in the first 2 hours and then they stop spawning. So you'll have to reset the game if you want some more to spawn. So you know how many games have jetpacks? Well, Blox fruits has one too. If you equip the now removed Kilo fruit and then use its F ability, you will be able to go on forever into the sky. This literally doesn't stop. Well, I guess it does, because since update 20, Kilo doesn't exist anymore. Did you know that lava doesn't melt the fruit? We all know that lava can kill you, but if you drop a physical fruit into lava, it won't melt. So next time you're worrying you're accidentally gonna drop your fruit while walking near lava, don't worry. The only thing you should worry about is to not drop yourself into lava. But if you have magma fruit, why worry? How many times did I say worry? I'm sure none of you have ever tested this one. You know how Doe's F ability keeps you safe from water damage? Well, there's something it doesn't protect you from, and that's fall damage. You will still take fall damage when transformed into a donut, but don't worry, it's not fatal. With my luck though, I transformed back into a normal character a millisecond before hitting the ground. Blox fruits developers changed the skin of the NPC we literally visit the most, and I'll bet that many of you didn't even notice it until now. If you take a look at the old pictures of Blox fruits gacha, you'll notice he's wearing white pants, but the new skin of Blox fruits gacha features black pants. Subscribe if you didn't notice his pants got removed. If you don't know who Ganfall Adventurer is, then you're probably new to the game. Ganfall Adventurer was the NPC you talked to when you wanted to start a quest on the Upper Skylands, but in update 23, that NPC was renamed to Sky Quest Giver 2 due to copyright reasons. Rest in peace, Ganfall Adventurer. Death King is an NPC that exchanges players' bones for different random items, but before update 22, you were able to find Death King in the first and second sea, but now he got removed from those, so you can only find him in the third sea in the graveyard on the Haunted Castle. Many of you may be wondering why your ally menu button is glitched. Well, it's not actually glitched. That button was removed in update 22, and you're no longer able to ally with another marine. Swan is one of the best bosses to server hop in the first sea, as well as the island he's on, because on Prison Island there are not 1, not 2, but 3 bosses. We've got Warden, Chief Warden, and Swan. Warden will get you 6k belly. After killing Chief Warden, you'll get 10,000 belly, and after killing Swan, you'll get 15,000 belly. That's 31,000 belly combined. You could make a every 3 minutes, which is equal to 620,000 belly per hour. You just have to keep server hopping these and hoping all 3 of them will be there. Swan is your most important boss because he alone will get you 15,000 belly, as well as the chance to get his pink coat. This accessory gives you 200 HP and 10% increase on gun damage. But who even uses guns anymore? Swan spawns every 30 minutes, but make sure to prepare for him because he uses both unawakened and awakened versions of spider fruit. Swan is literally the best boss in the first seed of server hop, and if you server hop him for an hour, along with the 620,000 belly, you'll probably get that pink coat too. Moving on to the next boss in the first sea, and here we have the Magma Admiral. Magma Admiral is located on the Magma Village Island, where you can also buy a soul cane from the living skeleton. Magma Admiral has 14,750 HP, deals 284 damage for each close range punch attack, uses C and X magma fruit moves, and respawns every 10 minutes. Upon completing the Magma Admiral quest, you'll receive 15,000 belly, the same amount as the Swan quest, but you'll also get 3 million XP. Many players say Magma Admiral is easier to kill because his attacks are easier to avoid, and he's much slower than Swan. With a proper fruit, it won't take you longer than a minute to kill Magma Admiral, meaning you could make around 900k per hour just by server hopping this boss. I know a fact that you rage killing this next boss. I'm talking about Fishman Lord, who has 2 different forms. His second form is faster, does more damage, and gains back all health upon the death of his first form. There's nothing worse than seeing his health bar turn green after it was red just a second ago. He's considered to be among the hardest bosses to kill in the first sea because he's stronger but gives the same amount of money as if you killed Swan. But while that's true, Fishman Lord also gives almost 3 times more XP than Swan does, and you might even get a trident. Subscribe if you pretty much hate this boss but love how easy you can level up and make around 500k belly an hour on top of that, just by server hopping him. Moving on to the coolest boss in the first sea, Cyborg. Cyborg is the last and strongest boss in the first sea, and not many people kill him for money because he's got 3 times more HP than Magma Admiral, but gives you only 5k belly more. However, if you want to make money quicker in Blox fruits, you should consider server hopping him. Why? Well, there's a chance Cyborg might drop his cool shades, which are considered to be among the best accessories in the game. Cool shades boost your running speed by 17.5%, increase your damage on any attack by 7.5%, and give plus 100 energy and health. It'll be way easier and quicker for you to server hop other bosses once you get those glasses. You probably made some mistakes when starting your Blox fruits career, so once it's a good time, you should do a stat reset to adapt them to your current skills. You obviously don't want to have a high stat level for guns, so here's a code for stat reset. I don't even know why someone would use a gun in Blox fruits, but here we are. However, you should never ever use a gun. Don't talk to me about the reason why. There's just an unwritten rule that you should always stick to the one style of grinding, but never to guns. Once you reach level 190, go over to Prison Island and simply server hop the bosses. They're high level and they give a lot of XP, so Prison Island might be your shortcut to the second sea, if you get the light fruit. If you're a new player, this one is definitely going to help you out. One thing you must do in the first sea is get an aura. It's cheap, easily obtainable, and useful, so it's recommended that most people get it as early as they can. The Frozen Island is probably the best way to farm belly in the first sea. Once you get there, start a quest with Yeti. Kill him, and as you're waiting for him to respawn, complete other quests on the island. This will get you around $600,000 per hour. Vice Admiral is the boss that spawns on Marine Fortress, and each time you kill him, you'll get 15,000. Once you kill him, just server hop and repeat it, and in 1 hour, you'll make well over 300,000. After you're done with killing Vice Admiral, take a walk through the island in order to collect the chest, since there's a few thousand just sitting around. And don't forget about the golden one on top of the fortress. Did you know that there's a way you can get Darkblade for free? All you need to do is kill an admin, and there's a low chance that he will drop you a Darkblade. Now, there are a few problems with this. First, the chances of the admin being in your server are extremely low, and even if you encounter him, the second problem would be to kill him. Can you imagine how OP admins are? You would need quite some skills, fruits, and luck to kill an admin, and even then, the Darkblade is still not guaranteed. I bet you didn't know Rip Indra once trolled the whole community by posting a picture in Gear 4 before it was even out. He did this on April 1st, and the whole community launched the game expecting to see Gear 4, only to be absolutely devastated. A long time ago, maxing out your stats was much easier and quicker. Stats used to increase as you're using them, and not by leveling up. I wish they would bring this back. Comment down below if you agree. The first player that reached the 3rd sea in the game was a player called Noob050. 062. And yet this guy calls himself a noob. Of course, that's if we exclude all the admins, which I think is fair. This one might be one of the funniest bugs in the game, but it was unfortunately patched. Back in the day, you were able to board NPCs and bosses onto the marine boat and drive around. This was great for me because I could just pretend like I had friends. Bloxfruit's developers simply love hats. If you go behind a windmill on Turtle Island, you will find a red hat called Vietnam Cone. It's just an Easter egg made by the developers to show their support towards Vietnamese Bloxfruit's players. I bet you didn't know that. While you're at Turtle Island, head into the mansion and you'll notice a carpet. Walk on the tiles and then walk on the carpet. They make two completely different sounds. It's amazing that developers paid that much attention to detail. Spin is one of the most hated fruits in the game. It's so bad, but maybe you don't know everything about it. Believe it or not, Spin's spinning bomber ability has aimbot. You only have to be near your enemy and click C and it should work. Try it out and see for yourself. Most players don't know that with Love's flamingo ride ability, you're able to pick up NPCs and move them around the server. It's not really a useful glitch, but it's definitely fun. One thing you could do with this glitch is prank new players by picking up high level NPCs and transporting them over to lower level islands. An NPC at this level will end up killing every new player that stands in its path. This one is an absolute game changer. If you need a quick way to get out of a heated situation, remember this: jump plus right click and dash. This glitch will send you flying into the sky and give you enough time and space to escape the fight. Just make sure you get some practice before trying it out in the fight. If you're a new player, this glitch will completely transform the way you play. I'm talking about the good old wall glitch that allows you to go through any wall just by standing in front of it and using flash step. You may have to play around with the camera angle until you get some practice, but it's really simple. And you can also use any teleportation moves like Dark F and so on. Subscribe if you already knew this one. This one is for a little more experienced glitch exploiters. It's the cursed ship glitch. You'll need to go to the spot where the ship stewards are. Once you're there, use the Rengoku Z move or any other rush move next to the ship stewards while they're barely moving. You'll wind up right under the floor. Since I don't have any friends I can ride with on Flamingo, I'll spawn my besto friendo. You can do the same or just use your real friend if you're that lucky. Then spawn a flamingo with a love fruit while you're near them in order to pick them up, and then there you go. You're swimming through the air with your friend. This also works on NPCs. I do this every time I'm bored in this game. Eat the portal fruit and then activate the parallel escape move while standing still. After the move ends, you can enjoy being completely invisible to all the other players. Now you can attack your friends and they won't know what's going on. It'll be hilarious, trust me. This will be the easiest loot of your life if you have Shining Flight. Just climb on top of the haunted castle and there you will find 3 chests. Easy 30k. I feel sorry for you if you don't have Shining Flight yet. It truly is one of the most useful moves. Most of you already know about the Besto Friendo, but what if you don't have any friends? You can still use it. Just activate the move and in a blink of an eye, you will get a friend that will protect you at all costs. He's a better friend than any of my real friends. Oh, yeah, I don't have any of those. Everyone knows there's not really a way to make your boat faster, except there actually is. This is something no one knows about. A turbo boat. You'll need a God-Human C move for this one. Get a boat and stand close to a C. Then press C. Sit in the boat and just let off C. Your boat will literally get launched. I bet you didn't know this one. If you and your friend are flying through the sky using Venom and Light, you can actually collide with each other. You probably didn't know that there's a sword that can be awakened just like fruits can be. I'm talking about Saber Sword. All you have to do is kill someone that's the same level and same bounty as you, and you will be able to awaken it. Pretty cool. Also, the only way to get a Saber Sword is by doing the Saber Expert puzzle. Most of you still don't know that there's a way to stand on lava without any protection or abilities, and somehow not die? This sounds too good to be true, but it's kind of useless. If you teleport using a portal directly on lava, you will be able to stand on it and not take any damage. But that's only true under one condition. You can't move, which is why I said it's useless. But something even weirder is that if you do the same but on water, you will take damage and eventually die. Bloxfruit's map is pretty large, and new players tend to have a hard time finding the next locations they should visit. But that's because they don't listen to the compass. Compass is literally your best friend in Bloxfruit, and yet I often see players completely forgetting about it. You can find your compass on the left side of your screen, and it basically tells you where the next NPC you should visit is located, or where your next quest is. All you need to do is hop in a boat and travel in the direction the red needle is pointing towards. New New players, listen up. If you have a fruit equipped and you eat another one, you will end up losing the fruit you had previously equipped. It's impossible to retrieve it, and the only way to get an infinite amount of fruit is to buy a permanent fruit add-on. I didn't know this, and I ended up losing a fruit when I was a newbie, which cost me some time. This next one is a mistake I see a lot of people making: not setting your spawn point. I know you hate dying on the island where you're grinding, and then getting respawned at a whole other island that's miles away from your task. Because of this, setting your spawn point is something you should always keep doing because it saves you so much time. It instantly spawns you exactly where you need to be, so you won't have to travel to that place anymore. I often see new players trying to level up by grinding at the same island. There are cases where players literally get from level 10 to level 200 just by grinding on the jungle island, and this is something you should definitely stay away from. Not only is it a rookie mistake, but players actually think they will level up faster because it's easier to kill enemies, and they can get more kills in a shorter time. Just because it's way harder to kill the enemies at the same level as you doesn't mean you will level up slower, and in fact you'll actually level up much quicker. Observation is an ability that lets you dodge incoming attacks from enemies, see enemies through solid surfaces or anywhere in range, see them from a distance, and even see how much health and energy they have. Back in the day, observation used to look completely different, and I think it looks a bit more realistic in the old version. We all know that Buddha today is considered to be overpowered. It's the best grinding fruit in the game, and if you want to reach max level, you must use it. But did you know back in the day, Buddha was even more OP, and there was a little speed glitch you could do with it. Today, when you use Buddha's transformation, your speed increases by only 15%, but you probably didn't know unless you're OG, that back in the day, Buddha's transformation used to increase your speed by 60%. I think that old Buddha would shame light in a race. If you used it today, no enemy would be able to land a hit on you. I think I now know why it was nerfed. I bet you didn't know that water texture back in the day was different. It was more realistic, much more blue, and more still. Nowadays, we have that wavy texture, which definitely suits the game better. But I'm sure there are OG players that miss the old one. Me personally, I love the fact they updated the water. It doesn't matter if you're a new or OG player. In both cases, I know you love the sky jump ability. Today, with the sky jump ability, you will get 10 jumps. But this was before when the ability was first added to the game, when the number of jumps was unlimited. This literally meant you could jump as high as you can in the sky, as long as you had enough energy to do so. Imagine being able to get to sky islands just by jumping. It's obvious why they removed this from the game. Literally too overpowered. The first and most obvious change you will notice as soon as you join the game is new fruit design. Not only do fruits look different, but they're literally animated, and the graphics look so good. Each fruit obviously has an animation that represents it, and the most interesting ones are definitely Phoenix and Spider Fruit. Phoenix flaps its wings, and the spider fits into the Halloween vibe. Oh, and Spring Fruit, it bounces. Speaking of new fruits, the biggest change Update 20 brought was definitely two new fruits. The first one is called Mammoth, a beast type fruit that costs 2.7 million belly. It's mythical, and its abilities sound pretty interesting. The first ability is called Ancient Cutter, and it turns you into a mammoth covered in a dark aura, then stomps on the ground and sends 3 large slashes. It's similar to Dragon's transformed X move, through the ground and air. This move can even be used in the air, and it looks pretty interesting. The second move transforms you into the same mammoth, but instead of stomping on the ground, it dashes forward at a high speed, and when you hit an enemy, it launches them upwards, which looks super funny. The third move is similar to the second one, and the only difference is that it doesn't transform you into a mammoth, and when the enemy is hit, they're slammed down. The fourth move transforms you into an armored mammoth, which reduces damage by 50%. It also gives you a different jump and dash animation, along with the ability to deal damage by falling to the ground when airborne. This is definitely the best move. And the fifth move is basically a huge jump similar to Buddha's C move. Also, the longer you hold it, the further you jump. And best of all, you can literally hold it infinitely. The second fruit is called Sound Fruit, a natural type of fruit that costs 1.7 million belly and has been classified as legendary. Sound is a great choice for both grinding and PvP, and all of its abilities are AoE. Its first ability is called Rhapsody Notes, and it shoots out 3 projectile notes on the first use horizontally, 5 on the second use horizontally, and 5 on the third use vertically where the cursor aims at. You'll get used to it as you start using this move, and all of the notes explode once they hit the target, which deals pretty nice damage. The second move is called Fortissimo, and it deals an area of effect damage through a cone-shaped note attack. The third move is called Symphonic Radiance, but I'd call it Disco Ball because it literally spawns a disco ball that fires beams which auto-aim at all nearby enemies at a large range. Good thing I attended all my hip-hop classes. Once it shoots all the beams, the disco ball fires itself to where the cursor is aiming at and explodes on impact. One more thing that makes this move overpowered is that every time a beam hits your enemy, the damage is multiplied by 0.85. The next move shoots 5 small and then 5 large projectiles, which also explode on impact. The larger projectiles will literally respawn a black hole and start sucking in all the nearby enemies while dealing damage for a short time after exploding. And the final move is called Prestissimo. What's going on with these names? Fortissimo, Prestissimo, Sparkissimo? Maybe I should make my own fruit. I'll ask my friends what they think about that. Oh, yeah. Anyways, the Prestissimo move is a flight move that regenerates tempo meter, but stops health and energy generation when it's activated. Overall, this fruit is super good. But beside the fruit changes, there are also a few other minor fruit changes that happened. The first of them is Kilo. Well, was Kilo. Now it's Rocket Fruit. Yep, you heard that. I don't know how Kilo managed to survive 4 years in the game being the worst fruit, but it was finally time to switch it. Kilo's new name is Rocket, and its abilities have completely changed. It's still the cheapest fruit in the game though. The first ability is a rocket that launches from your hand and deals AoE damage and a knockback. The second ability is just an airstrike, and the third ability is some sort of quick jump which also deals AoE damage once you hit the ground. The last move is a flight move which has a cool animation, considering it's from the cheapest fruit. You do a backflip and fly off with an explosive trail. New players definitely won't be complaining about this fruit, but it wasn't the only fruit that got changed. Paw Fruit is now called Pain Fruit, but that's really the only big change, as its abilities are basically the same. Some other fruits got minor changes such as new icons and in-game visuals, but nothing as crazy as Rocket Fruit. Observation Haki is definitely the best and most useful thing in the game, but for starters it's impossible to level up to. Here's a trick to max your observation as quickly as possible. Go to any NPC that grinds your OB Haki, preferably near your spawn point, and just let them hit you while your OB is activated. And once all your dodges are gone, just hop on another server and repeat the process. This will save you so much time. Most of you think that Light is the fastest fruit in the game, but it's actually not. A Portal fruit is obviously much faster. Portal's World Warp ability lets you travel anywhere on the map, and I mean anywhere. Teleporting is the fastest way of traveling, and you can also bring your friend. But I think it's too expensive since traveling is the only thing you can use it for. That's not worth 1.9 million. Heads up, the only way to get a triple Dark Blade is to be really good friends with an admin, or be his brother. Only admins can get this sword, which is obviously because it's too overpowered. It looks like you're holding 3 Dark Blades and its abilities are the same but tripled. For example, the slash ability is the same, but instead of 1, it sends out 3 slashes. I hope I'll never encounter an enemy that has this sword. We all know that when you want to awaken a specific fruit, you have to complete a raid using that same fruit. But there's a little trick that makes you able to awaken any fruit by completing a raid using Buddha. Just start a raid and complete the first 4 islands with the Buddha fruit, then eat the fruit that you want to awaken and use that fruit to kill the last standing NPC. When you're teleported to the awakening place, just awaken that fruit. So easy. If an admin ever catches you doing something that's causing the server to lag, you will receive a warning. But the next time the admin catches you doing the same thing, you can say bye-bye to your account because you're definitely getting banned. Just how any other type of bad speech isn't tolerated, threatening isn't too. If you ever threaten someone to harm them in game or even worse in real life, you will get banned. I once threatened my friend that I'll come over to his house and trash his PC. And guess what? I got banned. I'm kidding, obviously. We all know I don't have any friends. I know there are Foam Blox Fruits players watching this video, so here's something for you guys too. The Roller Donut ability from the Dough Fruit will get you glitched so much you'll end up being teleported far away. I don't know how this glitch isn't more known since it happens to Foam players all the time, but why is it bannable? Because not only it does this, but it also sometimes makes the player fly. Admins don't want to hear any excuses once they see you levitating in the air. Buckle up, this is a really weird one. Did you know that if you pick up a fruit a player is standing on, you'll get banned? What? How? There's this glitch that shows a player picking up the fruit another player is standing on, and as he picks it up, the other player literally disappears. I think he went into his inventory. Moving on to the next method of gaining new fruits, here's a method that will either grant you some nice fruits or just lose you money. We're talking about trading, and what's so special in Blox Fruits about trading is that you can not only trade fruits, but also game passes. I personally like this because it allows players who don't have any Robux to get game passes by grinding hard. There are only 2 places where you can trade in the game, and those are Cafe and Mansion. Once you're there, just look for tables with 2 chairs. Those are usually trading places. But there's something you must know about trading. You can't trade a rocket fruit for a leopard. There's something called price difference, and if your fruit is 40% more expensive than the fruit of the guy you're trading with, the game will not allow you to complete the trade. Equip some good fruits for this next one. Castle on the Sea is the main area in the 3rd Sea. It's literally where 3rd Sea players hang out. It's got everything you can think of, including raids. The raid on this island happens every hour and 15 15 minutes, and the goal is to protect the castle from pirates that are attacking it. These pirates are galley pirates, and once they start spawning, you'll quickly realize their level is way higher than normal. Why did I say the factory raid is more fair than this raid? It's because here, the player who kills the last pirate is the one who gets a random Blox fruit. This means you can literally run away from the pirates the entire time, not dealing any damage. But if you kill the last pirate, you'll get a fruit. To make this even more unfair, if someone gets the last pirate to a single hit, and you just deal the final blow, you'll still be the one getting the fruit. This next one is once again a raid, but this time a raid not many players have faced. I'm talking about the ship raid. That's also known as the defeat the brigade raid. Keep in mind that this raid cannot happen in the first sea. Unlike the other raids on this list, this one happens randomly as you're riding in your boat. When you're out there on the sea, a bunch of ships may spawn, 2 or 3 to be more precise. 2 of them are always brigade ships, and the third one is a grand brigade, but it doesn't spawn every time. They will constantly pursue you and shoot cannonballs at your ship, so there are only 2 outcomes. Either you absolutely destroy their ships, or they're going to destroy your ship. In case a grand brigade spawns, I recommend you first destroy the normal brigades, and then focus on destroying the grand brigade. Once you defeat all of them, you may get a Blox fruit. I'm saying may because it's not actually guaranteed you'll get it each time, and there are a few factors, the sea you're in being the key one. However, even if you don't get a fruit, I'm sure you'll be satisfied with fragments. If you're in the second sea, grand brigade will never spawn, and you'll get 50 fragments for each brigade you sink. But if you're in the third sea, you'll get 25 fragments for each brigade you sink, 75 fragments for the grand brigade, as well as 3 fool's tooth, and obviously a small chance of a random fruit. Have you ever got a fruit from a ship raid? None of you probably know that a while ago you were able to stop the combat and save your life. How, you ask? Just run back to the safe zone, and your enemy won't be able to hit you. This was changed in update 6, and since then safe zones are ignored if combat has already been initiated with another player. Do you think this should come back, or should it stay the way it is? Did you know that way back in time there was actually a server browser? You were able to join servers you had never joined before, and filter them by total bounty, region, and server name. Unfortunately, this feature got completely removed for unknown reasons, probably due to the difficulty of moderating those servers. One of the craziest things you could do a few years ago was to go to the third sea even as a new player. This allowed new players to level up crazy fast, but the developers attempted to patch the glitch in update 16, but their patch was unsuccessful. However, players under level 1500 can no longer deal any damage whatsoever to the Indra boss. Do you know what's the easiest way to find Mirage Island? Well, I don't, but I know that back in time, you used to need a full moon in order to find the Mirage Island, which is a special island that functions apart from all the other islands. It's also special because Advanced Fruit Dealer and Blue Gear for Race Awakening can be found there, and luckily nowadays you only need nighttime in order to find this island. Did you know that the spike fruit was previously called Spike? Nowadays it's just Spike, and it's been in the game since update 1, and is more commonly referred to as the Walmart dough, since it has skills similar to an awakened dough fruit. But this fruit was previously hated due to its high chance of getting it from a Blox fruits gacha, while not being very useful. But since then it's improved a lot, getting a large buff in update 17.3. But there's no way you know that back in the day, Control Fruit's V move used to shrink after catching a player, and disappeared after the move. I mean, if you notice this detail, you're truly an OG player. Soul Guitar is currently the only mythical gun in the game. The gun uses energy, and before the latest update called Ghost Event, the Soul Guitar was healed from ships, but this no longer happened. Have you ever heard about the glitch that made it possible to kill the beautiful pirate and obtain Rainbow Aura? You had to go to Hydra Island, flash step into a secret room, then use flash step again into beautiful pirate domain. Once you're there, you were able to kill the beautiful pirate. However, this glitch has now been patched, and you will be teleported outside the beautiful pirate domain when attempting to do this glitch if you don't have it unlocked. Once you're level 105, you'll be able to start a quest to kill the boss Yeti. In the Frozen Village, this quest gives you 20,000 XP, and if you use a code, it's double. But there's actually a special technique that'll make sure you kill Yeti without dying. All you need to do is hit and dash. The dash on the ice is longer than the dash on normal ground, so there's no way he'll hit you even once, which makes him perfect for grinding. So take the quest, kill Yeti, server hop, and repeat. You know things are getting serious when you're able to start a quest with the Vice Admiral, but I'll show you the best way to kill him every time without dying. Most of you don't know about this trick, especially if you just started. All you need to do is lure him down the stairs, behind the left wall, and stand just below the stairs. You'll be able to hit him while he won't be able to hit you. If you've got double XP, this quest will get you 830,000 XP alone. For those of you who underestimate the Prison Island, just know that it can be your ticket to the second sea. Prison Island has 3 bosses, and you'll need to be level 230 to fight all of them. With double XP, they will give you millions of XP, and you will level up super fast. Another important thing to know is that you can hit 2 of the boss bosses through the wall, so just wall trap them. Kill, repeat, and slowly work your way into the second sea. When you finally reach the second sea and have a proper reason to buy Buddha, be careful when awakening it. You're still poor and should watch your wallet, so there's no need to fully awaken your Buddha. What you want to do is complete the raid once, and awaken Buddha's Z move, which is shift ability. This is the only move you need, and probably the only one you'll be using anyway. Shift ability gives you higher defenses, and more importantly, a way longer reach for your weapon. Then start upgrading your fighting style, or a sword depending on what you prefer. And believe me, you'll become unstoppable. Most of you don't know about the cave in the frozen village. Wait, what? You already know about it? Alright, but there's no way you know about this cave in the frozen village. It's located at the opposite side of the big cave, and inside of it you can find an NPC who will give you a love letter. This letter is part of the Sun Quest, so that means you can only enter if you have the Dark Blade. But here's a catch. You can simply flash step your way inside, but unfortunately if you do this, the NPC won't be there, so you won't be able to read the letter, but you'll still be able to see it. While we're still in the frozen village, let me show you another secret Blox fruits hid from us. If you go over here and head into this log cabin, the one that's facing the sea, and look up, you'll see an attic. Climb up there and get that golden chest. I bet you didn't know about that one. Also, did you know that we got cursed chests back? Once you open it, the enemies will spawn, and you need to kill them in order to get high XP rewards. That's super cool. If you still haven't completed the fight with the Saber Expert, you probably don't know about this secret location. Head over to the desert island and look for a house that's partially engulfed in sand and has red doors. Now just head inside where you will be greeted. Once you're there, you need to find a way to unlock the secret room. Let me show you how to do that. Equip your torch and stand still next to the brown curtain. The curtains will burn down and reveal a secret room in which you'll find a wall with a poem and the cup sitting at this night table, I guess. You may be wondering what this room is. Well, all of this is a part of the puzzle you need to complete before fighting the Saber Expert. Comment down below if you've already completed this. The next one is hidden on purpose, and you must find it in order to complete the citizen request on the floating turtle island. Once you've killed 50 forest pirates and Captain Elephant, you'll need to find the hidden treasure. You will need to go here, smash this wall, and head inside. Inside you will find a chest, and once you loot it, you'll get the zebra cap, an accessory that gives you 12.5% more damage on sword and gun attacks, and 12.5% cooldown on the mentioned one. And despite this being super cool, not many people know about it. But if you're more of a bounty person, then you'll need the same amount of bounty to get the Red Empress of the Sea title. Have you got any of these? Nevertheless, for the next title, we have Apex Predator, and it already sounds crazy just by the name. In order to obtain this, unfortunately great title, you need to kill 25 players in the same server. And if you have this one, you're one of the few. But we're slowly getting to those most desired titles, and the next one is Demon Eye. And besides the fact that you need 8 million belly to get this one, you'll also spend a lot of time working your way towards it. In order to achieve it, you need to obtain the True Triple Katana. And if you don't already know, in order to obtain True Triple Katana, you need to obtain 3 legendary swords first: Sadi, Shisui, and Wando. And each of these cost 2 million belly alone. Once you've done that, you'll be able to buy the True Triple Katana and get this. What? It's a great title for 8 million belly? That's just unfair. It's easier to obtain a Snow White aura color than to get the Demon Eye title. Speaking of Snow White, once you obtain it, you receive a True Heart title. Dragon Breath is the next fighting style on the list, a fighting style which is obtainable in the 2nd and 3rd sea only. And no, it's not a bridge to another fighting style, but there's an upgraded version of it called Dragon Talent. But we'll get there in a moment. Dragon Breath can be bought for 1,500 fragments from an NPC called Sabi, who's located in a bridge at the Kingdom of Rose in the 2nd sea. And in the 3rd sea, you can get it at the Castle on the Sea. Once you purchase it, you'll receive a title Dragonborn. This fighting style is relatively cheap considering what you get. 3 moves that have good damage and range, and some of its hitboxes are great. The first move is called Dragon Rush, 2nd Dragon Flames, and 3rd Dragon Explosion. All moves are multiple targets, meaning you can hit multiple enemies at once. This fighting style was added in Update 8, and it used to cost a rare artifact, but that was changed to its current price in Update 11. Now we're getting more serious. Death Step, a fighting style that's an upgraded version of Dark Step, and more powerful in every aspect. Death Step is a leg-based fighting style, which can be learned from Foyu, the reformed in the 2nd sea or 3rd sea. Just like Dark Step, when equipped along the aura will be based on the legs instead of arms. Believe it or not, Death Step is a bridge to the even more powerful fighting style called God Human. One of the requirements for God Human is to have Dark Step with mastery of 400 or above. Death Step is the 2nd of 2 fighting styles that have 4 moves: Rocket Kick, Wind Bullet, Vermilion Drill, and Maximum Overheat. In order to learn Death Step, you need a few requirements: 5,000 5,000 fragments, 2.5 million belly, dark step mastery of 400 or above, and a library key obtained from the Awakened Ice Admiral. Death Step is excellent for PvP and bounty hunting due to its range, damage, fast-paced moves, and great combo potential. The only downside would be that it's a bit hard to hit enemies from a large distance, but who cares? Death Step is one of the most used fighting styles in the entire game. But here we have a successor of the fighting style we just went over, Water Kung Fu. And of course this is Sharkman Karate, the fighting style only obtainable in the second C. It's considered to be a great fighting style for combos mainly because its moves are faster, easy to hit, and deal much more damage compared to Water Kung Fu. It's also considered by many as one of the best fighting styles for grinding, mainly because the M1s are very fast and do not cause the player to dash. To obtain this fighting style, you'll first need to get your Water Kung Fu to 400 mastery, defeat the Tidekeeper, and get a water key, and only then you'll be able to pay Dagrock, the Sharkman at the Forgotten Island in the second C, 2.5 million belly, and 5,000 fragments to learn the Sharkman Karate. This style has 3 moves, the first one being 12 Water Palm, second Pressure Vortex, and third Great Sea Spear. All these moves can damage sea beasts, and Sharkman Karate is an extremely good choice for booty users because M1 is the fastest among all fighting styles. But if your focus is on PvP, I suggest you get a Superhuman. It's pretty bad at farming, but its PvP potential definitely makes up for it. This fighting style was extremely popular in the past, and it can be upgraded to God Human in the 3rd C. In order to obtain it, you'll need to have 300 plus mastery on Dark Step, Electric, Water Kung Fu, and Dragon Breath. Once you've got that, you have to pay 3 million belly to the Martial Arts Master, located in a hidden cave inside the Snow Mountain in the 2nd C. Superhuman has 3 moves, Beast Owl Pounce, Thunderclap, and Conqueror Gun. This fighting style has extremely high combo potential, very good knockback and damage, which makes it a perfect PvP fighting style that's also great for raids, since you can use the Z move to stun the boss, so others can hit it. Literally all its moves can be comboed for excellent damage output, and the Z and C moves are good for running away when you're low on health. Some refer to it as the upgraded version of combat style because its Z and X moves look like a better version of it. Electric is nothing compared to its successor, Electric Claw. This fighting style is mainly used for PvP due to its speed, easy to hit, powerful, and stunning skills. There's a few steps you need to complete in order to obtain this fighting style. First, you need 400 mastery on the Electric fighting style. Then find the previous hero NPC who's located close to the Longma boss at the Floating Turtle in the 3rd C. There you will start his quest and find a way to get to the mansion in under 30 seconds. Just set your spawn point at mansion and reset your character once you start the quest. But don't tell anyone I told you this. After completing the quest, return back to the previous hero and pay him 3 million belly and 5,000 fragments to obtain the Electric Claw, Electric Rampage, Lightning Thrust, and Thunderclap and Flash. Our Electric Claw has 3 very quick moves, and all of them damage sea beasts. Aside from that, Electric Claw is a very good fighting style for booty users, because if the player uses an auto clicker, they can click extremely fast and the moves are pretty good as well. Do you know Yuzoth? If not, go meet him, because you'll need him in order to learn Dragon Talon. Both Dragon Breath and Dragon Talon have dragon-like moves, which means that the Dragon Breath is Dragon Talon's predecessor. In order to obtain this fighting style, you'll need to complete 3 steps. First, you need to obtain a Fire Essence from a random surprise, which can be bought from the Death King NPC at the Haunted Castle 10 times every 2 hours for 50 bones. Once you've got that, you need to go to the Yuzoth, who's located at the big gear to the right of the pole on the Haunted Castle, and give him the essence. Yuzoth will accept your Fire Essence at any time, and once you complete that, you just completed the first part of obtaining it, meaning now you have access to purchase Dragon Talon fighting style. Now you need to have at least 400 mastery on Dragon Breath, 3 million belly, and 5,000 fragments in order to purchase the Dragon Talon. Dragon Talon has 3 moves, Talon Lighter, Ember Annihilation, and Infernal Vortex. Moves have big hitboxes and are area of effect, high damage, and most of them work with Awakened Buddha. They're also super easy to aim, well, except for Z moves. This fighting style was added in update 16, and since then it's been one of the hardest fighting styles to obtain. Do you have it? I bet you've all been waiting for God Human, and here it is. God Human is known as a successor and enhanced version of the Superhuman fighting style. God Human's exceptional speed, stunning maneuvers, and powerful knockback abilities make it a perfect PvP fighting style, especially when combined with PvP-oriented fruits, such as Ice or Dough, as it can serve as an amazing stun while using moves. This fighting style is obtainable by learning it from an ancient monk, who can be found inside a tree located behind the Musketeer Pirates in the Floating Turtle. But before you head over there, make sure you meet all the requirements to purchase it. First of all, and well, obviously, you need to be in the 3rd C. Then you need 400 or more mastery on Superhuman, Death Step, Electric Claw, Sharkman Karate, and Dragon Talon. That's a lot, and I mean like a lot. It'll take you quite some time to meet these requirements, and there's still more. Once you've got that, you'll need 5 million belly, 5,000 fragments, 10 dragon scales, 20 fish tails, 10 mystic droplets, and 20 magma ores. There's no way you're getting all of these without using an auto-clicker. The moves of Godhuman are Soaring Beast, Heaven and Earth, and 6th Realm Gun. They're known for an amazing combo potential and high damage. In total, Godhuman will cost you 25.4 million belly and 31,500 fragments. Do you still think it's worth it? And last but not least, we've got Sanguine Art Fighting Style, a darkness and vampiric based fighting style. It's a great fighting style for grinding and raids due to the long range moves. Most melee enemies won't even be able to hit you. Sanguine Art can be learned from Shafi, who can be found in a base linked by a tunnel near the Island Boys, located in the Tiki Outpost. But before you're able to purchase it, you'll need to obtain a Leviathan Heart first and give it to Shafi. Then you need to get 20 Demonic Wisps, 20 Vampire Fangs, and 2 Dark Fragments. Only then will you be able to pay 5 million belly and 5,000 fragments to learn the Sanguine Art. The moves of this fighting style are Bloodbane Drain, Scarlet Tear, and Devourer of Worlds. Whoa, that one sounds so cool. All of these moves can hurt sea beasts, and all of them can break instinct. On top of that, they have a good combo potential. But the interesting thing about Sanguine Art is that this is the first fighting style to have a life-stealing move. Some moves have a short range compared to other fighting styles, but you definitely won't be thinking about that while having this fighting style equipped. Many players have never even heard about the God's Chalice. The God's Chalice is a crucial item that plays an essential role in the endgame. It is the 3rd sea counterpart of the Fist of Darkness, and there are a few ways you can lay your hands on this item. The most difficult one is arguably getting it after defeating an elite pirate, where their drop chance is only 2.1%. Dark Coat is a mythical accessory that buffs your energy and health by 600 and makes you deal 15% more fruit damage. To get this rare item, you need to kill the boss Darkbeard, but the chance of it being dropped is only 2%, so you should be ready to spend hours grinding it. If you want to move faster, Cool Shades are a must-have, because they increase your speed by 17.5%, along with many other boosts. In order to obtain this accessory, you'll need to kill Cyborg, who can be found at the Fountain City in the 1st sea, but good luck getting them, because the chance of him dropping Cool Shades is only 1.5%. Dough is considered to be one of the hardest Blox fruits to awaken, but it's also really hard to find in stock, because its chances of being there are only 1.4%, and your chances of getting it from Blox fruit gacha are also 1.4%, while its chances of spawning are 1.34%. But I heard a little rumor that if you subscribe, this will go up to 1.5%. Okay, maybe not, but what do you think about Dough fruit? The next fruit we're craving for is Gold fruit, and someone made a showcase for it, so let's take a look at that moveset. The first move on the list is Golden Spear, and it's similar to Stone Spikes. The second move is Air Punch, which lifts your enemy into the sky and stabs it on both sides with golden spikes coming out of the ground. Huh, who thought of that? Even though it looks cool, I doubt it would be that useful of a move. The next move is the Golden Axe, and it's basically the same thing as Stone's Colossal Spikes, but with an axe. Honestly, the gold fruit is looking kinda boring. Comment down below what you think. The next fruit is definitely one of the most wanted fruits that still hasn't been added to Blox fruits. This is Dark X Quake Awakening, and let's take a look at this concept. These moves look way too good already, and the first one is called Ultimate Aura, which looks super sick. It's one of the best moves I've ever seen in Blox fruits. The second move is Gurut Gatling. What a name. Looks like this move would do quite a lot of damage. And then we have Dark Aura, Mysterious Aura, and the Movement. These all look so sick, but I doubt they would look this good in the game. I mean, combining two fruits that are one of the most powerful fruits in the game is absolutely crazy, and we definitely want it. It's getting pretty cold outside. We've got a Snow fruit, and it looks like this one only has 3 moves. The first one is called Purified Snow, and it shoots out multiple snowballs, I think? Then we have Blades of Snow, which looks really mean. Last one is Endless Blizzard, which is an area of effect move that slows down all players in a blizzard, and the damage it does is double what the previous one does. I think this would suit the game perfectly, especially if it was in the top 5 least expensive fruits. Here's a fruit many players have been expecting to get throughout the years. This fruit is Wood fruit, and I imagine it to be something like a trap fruit. It deals bad damage, but it's used to trap your enemies with roots. But to make it a bit more interesting, you wouldn't be able to trap anyone holding a sword, because, well, swords cut through wood pretty easily. On top of that, this fruit would also be weak to players using flame, magma, and anything else hot. Wood is definitely a fruit we've all wanted for years. But the second sea has some even crazier accessories, with the first one being the Black Spiky Coat, an accessory that can be obtained after defeating the Jeremy boss, who is located in the Kingdom of Rose in the second sea. This accessory gives you plus 200 health and energy, and 7.5% damage on any attack. The next accessory looks pretty much the same, except it's blue. Blue Spiky Coat is an accessory that can be obtained after defeating the Cursed Captain boss, who has a 33.3% chance of spawning in the cursed ship in the second sea every in-game night. Even though the only appearance difference between Blue Spiky Coat and Black Spiky Coat is the color, Blue Spiky Coat is actually much much better. This accessory gives you plus 500 energy, plus 250 health, and 7.5% more damage on any attack. But that's not all. We've got another spiky coat, and this one is red. Red spiky coat can be obtained in the same way as blue spiky coat, and the only difference are the switch numbers of energy and health boost. Red spiky coat gives you plus 250 energy, plus 500 health, and once again 7.5% more damage on any attack. Now moving on to the Choppa. Choppa is a rare accessory obtained after defeating a sea beast. Choppa gives you 3% more fruit damage, 10% higher fruit defense, and 15% faster fruit cooldown. This accessory is great for players that primarily use fruits. The next thing that got removed but no one noticed is a feature that let players give 2 game passes in one trade. And I'm guessing no one noticed this got removed because, well, who in the world would give out 2 game passes? Before update 21, there was a glitch players exploited a lot, but only those who knew about it. Before this update, raid bosses used to give double rewards if the player had double XP turned on. Are you really playing Blox fruits if you never knew about the fastest glitch in the game? In order to do this glitch, you needed a spirit fruit, along with another permanent fruit. You'd take spirit fruit, activate the flying pig speed, and then switch to another permanent fruit, and then you'd keep the speed buff. Best of all, this was actually stackable, meaning you were able to do this as many times as you want, and you'd get another speed buff every single time. Unfortunately, this was removed in update 20, but I still really miss it. Soul Guitar is a gun known for one thing: healing your health as you're hitting your enemies. Before update 21, you'd get healed if you damage someone from a boat while holding Soul Guitar. However, this got removed in update 21. Let me know in the comments if you ever tried this. Thunder God is definitely the ugliest boss in the first sea, but that's not why we're here. Thunder God spawns every 10 to 15 minutes and has close range stunning moves which do quite a good amount of damage to players around his level. This boss gives you 20k belly and has 2 times less HP than Cyborg, meaning you can kill him in a minute or a minute and a half depending on the damage you deal. By server hopping Thunder God, you can expect to make 800k belly in an hour. Now moving on to the second sea, the first boss we have is Diamond. He's located in the Flower Hill, and upon completing Diamond Quest, you will get about 12.65 million XP and 25k belly, with a chance to get a longsword from him. An easy way to kill him is to keep your distance and spam range attacks at him. By doing this, you could kill him every minute and make around 1.5 million belly per hour. Now that's quite impressive. The next up is Jeremy. This is another boss located at the Kingdom of Rose Island, who gives you the same amount of belly as Diamond, but is easier to kill according to many players, because Jeremy has about 10,000 less HP than Diamond. However, Jeremy uses the Spring Fruit as his main way of attack, so make sure you come prepared. By server hopping this boss, you could make about the same as if you were server hopping Diamond, and maybe even a little bit more. Alright, so now we have possibly the most interesting, but not really effective way of making money in the second sea. Bartillo Quest is the quest in which you need to kill 50 Swan Pirates, Jeremy, and solve a puzzle. Upon completing this quest, you will receive 50,000 belly, 35 million XP, and some other things. But since this takes longer than any other quest, it's not really recommended. However, you can make around 600,000 an hour if you do this over and over. The best thing you can get in the first sea after getting Aura is definitely Water Kung Fu fighting style. You can get it by learning from a Water Kung Fu teacher, and it's so good for grinding because it doesn't have a delay between the third attack. Comment down below your favorite style. I still don't understand why some people sleep on Buddha. Like, it's the best fruit in the game, especially if you just got to the second sea. Not only is it perfect for grinding in the second sea, but also in the third sea. So after you get Buddha, you don't have to worry much about fruits anymore. Once you awaken its shift ability, it all comes down to what level you want to reach. Buddha is perfect in every aspect. Once you secure yourself with Buddha fruit, you will feel like you're traveling much slower when it comes to running and jumping. So if you don't belong to the 12.5% of players who already have Rabbit Race, you should definitely get it. Rabbit is the fastest race in the game, and when combined with Buddha, it makes you overpowered. But to make it even more OP, you can simply get a Ghoul Mask for 50 Ectoplasm. Ghoul Mask improves your movement speed by 35%. You can't say no to that. Almost everyone finds out about Superhuman as they play, but it's always better to learn earlier. Superhuman is a fighting style that specializes in speed, stuns, and knockback. In order to obtain it, you will need 300 mastery on Electric, Dark Step, Water Kung Fu, and Dragon Breath. Once you've got all of these, just head over to Martial Arts Master in the second sea. He'll take care of the rest of the work. Ship Raid is another way to become super rich, but not with belly.
Wait a second, what's better than belly?
Fragments, of course. After you complete the Ship Raid, you can expect to get 100 fragments. What do you think about this one? Most of you think that raids are only used to awaken your fruit, but you forget about the 72,000 you get after completing each raid. It's pretty simple. Just start and complete raids for worthless fruits, and if you have Buddha, that's a huge plus because it'll make your raids 10 times easier. The Kingdom of Rose should be called Belly Island because you can make so much money on it. One more way to get super rich is by completing a factory raid located on on this island. It opens every hour and a half, and you've only got 5 minutes to destroy it. Did I mention it has 200,000 HP? It won't be easy, but you can expect to get tens of thousands depending on how much you damage the core. Oh yeah, you're not the only one destroying it, since this raid involves other players that are destroying the factory too, but try to be the best, since whoever deals the most damage will receive a random fruit. How cool is that? Many of you have trouble finding diamond chests, but I'll show you one location where you can find a diamond chest in the first sea. Go to the jungle, which is literally the second island, and find a tree with a green button. Once you press it, head over to the basement of the building where the quest NPC is at. There you will find a diamond chest. After that, just server hop and repeat. I wish I knew this years ago. One of, if not the best farming method in the game is Buddha farming. I know Buddha fruit isn't cheap, but once you somehow acquire it, it'll make your life way easier. All you need is Buddha's transformation because your hit range will become much bigger. You'll be able to easily kill NPCs and not take a single hit. Buddha is really too OP. You probably already know this one, since the Sky Island is one of the most favorable islands in the whole game. Up there you'll find a huge temple. Find your way inside on the bottom of it, use something to break that wall on the end of the tunnel, and voila! Now all you have to do is loot all those chests and get about 7k. Most of you don't know that Bobby Island is actually called Pirate Village. If you head over there, you will find one diamond chest located in the pile of cartoon boxes right beside the stairs. You'll get about 4k each time you loot it, and then just server hop. In an hour you could get about 400k. That's not bad at all. In case you got too much Robux for your birthday, which isn't the case for me since my friends don't even know when my birthday is, and you don't know how to spend it, but you also want to become super rich in Blox fruits, then buying a double money game pass is the best thing you can do. Did you know that there are a few different ways to get a free dark blade? Don't get me wrong, they're not easy, but free is free. The first way is to get a well-known Brazil cube. This one isn't easy since the only way to get it is by finding where the admin dropped it, and on top of that, they drop it on a random server every once in a while. Luckily, the second way is easier, but it takes a lot of time, and the chances of getting Darkblade are even lower. Just go around and beg someone to give it to you. Rich friends, admins, or YouTubers. But if they say no, respect that and don't get on their nerves. The third way to get Darkblade is to trade for it, but you can only do this if you got plenty of legendary fruit, since we all know how valuable Darkblade is. And the fourth way is the best, but probably most difficult way. You have to kill Mihawk, a raid boss from one of the events. But actually, it's just Rip Intro disguised as him. He's carrying a much stronger version of Darkblade, and if you manage to kill him, there are low chances he will drop his sword. Killing him is almost impossible, first because he's almost never online, and second because even when he is online, the chances of him becoming Mihawk are close to zero. So are your chances of getting Darkblade. I bet most of you didn't know that Full Body Phoenix is actually single-eyed. If you look closer, you'll see he has an eye on the left side of his head, but there's actually nothing on the right side. Did you know that Ice Admiral becomes impossible to kill if you get in his residence without destroying the door? Once you destroy the door that leads to the room where Ice Admiral resides, you'll be able to fight him. But if you glitch into that room using Flash Step, you won't be able to damage him. But trust me, he's definitely going to kill you. Since developers know that people glitch into the factory, they had to make a shield around the core in order to prevent people from destroying it out of the raid. So anytime you glitch into the factory while the raid isn't going on, you won't be able to damage its core, because the shield won't disappear. Most people already know that Paw is super underrated, but the most underrated thing about it is its projectile range. It's so good that you can reach the enemy standing at the other side of the island. A slight buff and it would be able to reach literally another island. Did you know that dragon fruit is literally useless? Well, not really, but it is if you're still in the first sea. If you're a beginner and somehow get your hands on the dragon fruit, don't eat it. You will get nothing and just waste 3.5 million belly. Oh yeah, you also can't store it. It's better to just donate it at that point. If it's your first time launching the game, listen to the map. That map you see at the starter island is fully accurate. Instead of going around in your boat trying to find an island, just travel in the direction of the island that's literally located on the map. Why do people ignore this? In order to achieve the fastest possible moving speed on the ground, you have to equip leopard fruit and pilot helmet. Those two when combined will make it impossible for your enemies to catch you. Some of you still don't know that you can unawaken your fruit once it's awakened. Go into the cafe's basement and find an awakening expert. There you can simply unawaken your fruit, and I don't really know why anyone would want to do this, but it feels good to know that you can. It's impossible to swim with the devil fruit, or is it? If you activate Fish V3 Race, you will be able to swim while your devil fruit is equipped without taking any damage. One more thing most of you didn't know about Fish V3 is that when you activate it, you will take up to 80% less damage from any source. Fish V3 is is actually extremely overpowered. Beginners definitely don't know about this one. A saber sword is the only sword in the game that you can awaken just as fruits. When you get it, kill someone that's a similar level to you, and you can upgrade the abilities on it. Trident weapons are the only weapons with two kind of dashes. The first one is the normal one where you can fly using a trident, and the second one where you can only throw it. The first dash performs great for boosting your movement during the fight. They're similar to Minecraft, don't you think? Only OG players know about this one. If you drive your boat onto land, it'll cause it to rapidly vibrate. If you touch the boat while it's vibrating, your character will get launched into the sky. You can also do this with the superhuman fighting style. You'll need a boat and superhuman C ability. Hold the C ability and sit in your boat. Release C and direct the boat onto the land. You can also do it with Barrier's X ability, using the exact same process. Take notes because this is one of the funniest glitches everyone forgets about. If you use the Dark Dagger Z or X move while sitting in the seat of the boat at the same time, then hitting your friend will sometimes cause them to be able to walk on air. And occasionally when you do this glitch, your friend will follow you as if he's tied to your boat. If you hold the Z move at the same time, as you sit in the passenger seat of a boat, the boat will become attached to the sword, and then you can throw the boat at a player, causing you to teleport to the player with the boat on top of them. This counts as driving, so you may even get some sea beasts to spawn. On top of all of this, if someone's coming at you in a boat, you can use the same moves to sit in another boat or even launch the player across the map. This is probably one of the craziest glitches out there, mostly because you can do it unexpectedly. If you hit your enemies with abilities that cause knockback or ragdoll, you can clip them into objects and walls. Just watch them have a complete breakdown. Now go out there and prank your friends with this one, but also be careful when fighting someone with a high knockback, as they can hit you at a certain angle and cause you to endlessly fly away. I snuck into Don Swan's mansion to look for my friends, then realized I didn't have any. But look what I found! If you enter his mansion and then go through the entrance to Don Swan's room while holding any move, you will be teleported to the Swan Pirates. Sometimes you might even get teleported into an underground location on Hot and Cold Island. You will see a lightly colored block with a tiny platform. Get to the platform and flash step your way inside, where you'll find an NPC. You won't be able to talk to him, however. If you use Death Step's C move and talk to any fighting style dealer, you will end up spinning forever until you reset your character or die. And to make things even worse, you can't even move around, dash, flash step, or nothing else while you're spinning. This is how you can become the biggest player on the server. You'll need an unawakened Buddha's transformation for this one. Once you've got it, awaken the Z move, transform again, and you will have a big head. I already know that most of you don't know about this one. You'll need an awakened version of Buddha. Go to the Awakening Expert and unawaken your Buddha Z move. Use the unawakened Buddha transform move, then go back to the Awakening Expert and awaken your Buddha Z move again. Once again, use Buddha's awakened Z move, and when you turn it off, your body will remain golden. And now you just look like a big minion. Did you know this? Comment down below. Becoming invincible in Blox fruits is a dream, and here's how you can do it. First, complete a raid with the fruit that the raid belongs to. When you come to the awakening room, use a flash step to teleport outside the box. Find stones on the side of the walls and flash step through the wall to the tunnel under the Kingdom of Rose. And that's it. You are now invincible until you reset or join. But at what cost? Well, you won't be able to damage other players or teleport home. I'm starting to think this one isn't as good as it sounds. Not everyone knows about the electro fighting style you can learn from the mad scientist. He's located somewhere in the Skylands, but if you think I'm gonna be so nice and tell you where he is, haha, go find him yourself. In Blox Fruits, there are 2 islands it's impossible to stay alive on. One of them is hidden and its only purpose is to kill you. Anywhere you stand on it will quickly take away your whole HP. No matter who you are, you can't survive this. The second island is a little bit more human, however you still won't survive it. I'll show you how to find it. Go to the graveyard and then look at the boat from its right side. Get closer to the boat's bow and just travel forward. It will take some time, but meeting Rip Injure will be worth it. Or not. However, chances of you killing him are equal to 0 because his health constantly restores and you have to be super quick and super strong. Even if you somehow do kill him, unfortunately you won't get a big bounty. There's an NPC called Aaron that will let you watch the whole Rip Injure's fight. You can find her at the Castle of the Sea. What's even more interesting is that after you reset the fight, you'll be stuck in Aaron's POV. That's one way to become an NPC. This could save you if you're just stuck on the open sea without a boat. Activate Shark V4 and then combine it with Shining Flight. You can fly in the water. This is completely useless because who would use Shining Flight to swim? But when you think about it, this would be a great way to prank your friends in a boat race. Did you know that Magma is not actually the strongest fruit? Well, it's not. Magma takes 6,500 damage damage, and Bomb takes over 9,000, making it the strongest fruit in the game. Why is Magma still so hyped? I bet you didn't know this one. We all know control fruits let you levitate objects. Now if you go to hot and cold and activate the first ability, you will be able to move igloos. There's one chest under every single igloo. Enjoy it. All of us have died from the beautiful pirate before many times. And what we hate even more is having to travel back to the beautiful pirate all the way from Hydra. It's a long way if you don't have a portal, but there's actually a secret tunnel that leads you directly to the beautiful pirate. At the bottom of the waterfall, behind the water, there's a tunnel that will lead you there. But be careful since there are two tunnels. You need to get into the bottom one, and I won't tell you where the other one takes you. You'll have to find that out yourself. There's a hole at the Great Tree that lets you fall under the map. Under there, you will discover a huge playground and a great hiding spot if you're trying to run away from someone. There are many ways in Blox Fruits to glitch the game in yourself, but I bet you didn't know about this one. There's a glitch that literally gets you stuck on a boat, and there's no way to get out of this one. I don't know why someone would want to do this, but if you want to try it, you need Portal's World Warp. Then sit in the boat and use the ability. There you go. Now the only way to exit the boat is to exit the entire game. Did you know that Chad is the king of Blox Fruits? A secret all of you missed. If you take a closer look at the leg of both the chests and trading tables, you'll be able to see a message saying Chad is the king of Blox Fruits. There are rumors that this is a reference to one of the mods, but personally I think they're talking about me. If for some reason you want to be in motion while AFKing, you can do that. Portal's Quantum Leap ability allows you to create two portals. So place the first one on the ground, look up, and place the other one above the first one. This looks super cool, and it's one of the best ways to be AFK while still being stylish. Now all you need to do is jump into one of those. But now try to exit the loop without changing the fruit. Yeah, good luck with that. You're never escaping. Players have been searching for a way to keep their bounties safe for ages now, and here it is. If you get killed by an NPC or another player kills you, you will obviously lose bounty. But if you unalive yourself right before they kill you, you will get to keep your bounty. It's that simple, and you should definitely start practicing this, because it takes some really quick reflexes. This is a weird one that no one will ever use, but believe it or not, you can use a fruit and its abilities without actually having that fruit. For example, if you have leopard fruit and transform into leopard, then remove that fruit from your inventory at fruit remover, you will still be a leopard without having leopard fruit. I don't know if there's any use in this, but it's good to know it exists. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you have a physical fruit and are about to die and lose it? Well, actually, it's super easy to save it. All you need to do is press backspace when you die and you will drop the fruit. Obviously, this is useless if you die in a PvP fight because the other player will just grab it. And if you're quick enough, you can call in a friend for backup and you can drop it to them quickly before you die. But I can never do this because I don't have any friends. But if there's not enough time for that, at least you will get a second chance to destroy that dude. Did you know that there are secret doors in Marine Fortress? But you'll need a dark plate to open them. So many of you will never get to go through these doors. Well, unless the admin is your best friend, then he can simply give you one. If you're a completely new player without any knowledge in Blox Fruits, I recommend you do some research before buying your first fruit. I know that once you open the fruit dealer menu for the first time, you'll feel like you absolutely have to buy a fruit, and you'll probably spend your money on a bad and useless fruit. Instead of doing this, do some research and wait for a good fruit. This will speed up your leveling process so much. Many people used to choose a melee instead of a fruit in the first seed, which is reasonable, but it's still a mistake. Instead of melee, you should get yourself an elemental fruit, which is way better. With an elemental fruit, you will be able to dodge an enemy's attack if you surpass their level, and I think that's a great advantage for new players. The biggest mistake you can make is when just getting to the second sea, immediately heading over to start a raid. I understand you can't wait to get in a raid, but believe me, when you just get to the second sea from the first sea, raids are going to be way more difficult than you expect, and you probably won't make it. Continue to grind for some time before starting a raid. This way you'll be absolutely sure to win your first raid. Also, don't awaken useless fruits. Just awaken only fruits you're sure you'll be able to use in the future. If you've got a bit of spare Robux, it would be a good idea to buy some add-ons. Some of the best add-ons you can buy in Blox Fruits are definitely double money and double mastery, but you have to be careful when buying add-ons, because there are some bad ones I see people buying, such as fast boats, double drop chance, and even Dark Blade. Alright, Dark Blade isn't that bad if you really want it, and I can't tell you what to spend your money on. That's just my advice. This next one will tremendously affect how fast you level up. I'm talking about choosing the right fruit for grinding. I see so many players using PvP fruits for grinding and they level up so slow. PvP should not be your priority unless you have maxed out your level, so I suggest you focus on leveling up as quickly as possible. The best way to do this is to use grinding fruits. Buddha and Awakened Magma are definitely some of the best grinding fruits out there, but in case you don't have them yet, do your research before you head out to grind next time. This is one of the most brutal mistakes I see new players making all the time. Stop upgrading your stats evenly! Why would you upgrade a stat for something you won't even use in the game? The right way to upgrade your stats is to focus on your health and energy, and then choose what you will use as your main, which is probably fruit. So then just upgrade your fruit stats. This way you won't miss out on anything, and you can always upgrade your other stats later. Most players go crazy when they find out they can find fruits sitting on the ground. But one important thing you should know is that it is extremely hard to find fruits if you're looking on purpose without a fruit notifier add-on. Most of us do find fruits randomly, and it's usually when we least expect it. There's just simply no point in searching for fruits without a notifier. You'll spend a lot of time, and the chances you find anything will be super low. Waiting for a boss to respawn in the first sea is understandable, because first sea bosses respawn relatively fast, but waiting for a boss to respawn in a second or third sea isn't what you should do. Instead, after you kill a boss, just hop on another server where that boss will probably be waiting for you. This is something called server hopping, and it can be used for many things, even grinding. And if you're a new player, you might have never heard of it. Find a boss that gives you a lot of belly, and is pretty easy to kill. Then just server hop and repeat. You will earn a lot of money, level up, and maybe even get a fruit. I wonder how many of you wait for the boss to respawn. Comment down below if you do that. The next one is something new players wish for. There was a glitch that was so OP, it allowed you to combine two fruits at the same time. You first had to use the transformation fruit, most of the players used leopard, and then sit on a chair. Sitting on a chair after you transform was a must. Then just get another fruit from a dealer, eat it, and boom! Now you have the speed and health of a leopard, and any other abilities from any other fruit. There's one fruit in Blox fruits that was removed, but the chances you have it are big. I'm talking about gum gum fruit, or should I say rubber fruit. Yeah, back in the day, rubber fruit used to be called gum gum. The moves basically remain the same, and I assume the name was changed due to copyrights, because One Piece also had a similar name fruit. Many of you like the design of a sea beast, but let me know what you think about the design of the old sea beast. Just take a look at it. Which one looks better to you? Comment down below. Only the most OG Blox fruits players remember this one. Did you know that back in the day when fruits were ball shaped, spring fruit was the only one that wasn't shaped like a ball? It looked like an actual spring, which looked cool if you ask me. Buddha's former overpowerment had even more potential. There was the speed glitch everyone with Buddha exploited, and it was too fun. All you had to do was transform into Buddha, hold A or D, and switch on a fighting style. You would instantly become so fast that literally nothing was faster than you. And remember, back in the days, Buddha gave you a 60% speed boost. Now imagine how fast you were able to zoom around the map. Even today, people find ways to do this, but they immediately get patched. Today, there are glitches that can cause a whole server to crash, but we still don't know how to do them properly and crash the entire server. And even if we know, we wouldn't do it, cause why ruin all the fun? But back in the day, there was this promising server crashing glitch that worked every time you tried it. All you had to do was use the control area, hold down Gamma Rush, and switch your fruit. There you go, you literally destroyed the whole server in seconds. I wonder if this still works. There is literally no way you ever experience this unless you're an OG player. You see, back in the days, Blox Fruits admins weren't so strict, and neither were their bosses. Because of this, admins often used to troll servers by spotting dragons with strange abilities, making it rain devil fruits, summoning deadly bosses out of nowhere, and changing the entire map to Brazil colors. OGs know why it's Brazil. Poneglyphs. If you didn't flinch when I said this, you're probably a new player. Poneglyphs were large stones with some sort of weird carved letters, and they were added to the game somewhere from update 10 to update 12. Literally big cube shaped rocks with weird symbols, and they weren't in the game long because they were removed in update 13. No one really knows why they were added, nor why they were removed, but rumors spread thinking that this was a hint about an awakening for the rubber fruit, although most players think they were just Easter eggs because of the gamer robot symbol on them. However, we still don't have an awakening for the rubber fruit, so it was probably just an Easter egg. The first and definitely most interesting thing you can do on Tiki Outpost is craft and enchant items. It's also one of the features added in update 20. It allows you to craft scrolls and enchant your swords by visiting the Dragon Talon Sage NPC, which can be found in the tall temple on the island. To enchant your swords, you need scrolls, and to make one scroll, you need 3 Fool's Gold and 2 Shark Tooth. There are 6 kind of scrolls, but at the moment, the community has only found recipes for 3 of them: common, rare, and legendary. When you first start crafting scrolls, you can only craft common scrolls. You unlock the ability to craft better ones the more you craft with the previous rarity. Enchanted swords will soon become a must-have. It gives you random bonuses to your weapon, ranging from increased elemental elemental damage or drop rate, to getting vampiric, which heals you when you deal damage. But did you know that this update was super focused on seas? We got 6 new sea events including raids. The first one is called Treasure Island. It's one of the smallest islands in the game, and it spawns when players move far away from land. There are multiple versions of the Treasure Island, some of them being completely made of sand, some having only grass and dirt, and there's even a version that has both sand and grass with a tree. The second sea event is called Ghost Ship Raid, a sea event in which a few ships spawn and attack your ship with a cannon. These can only be damaged by AoE attacks, so choose the right fruit. The next new sea event is called Flying Piranhas, and this one is scary. The piranha is a hostile NPC that spawns between 1 to 6 level sea meter. It has wings and can fly outside the water to attack your boat and use electricity-based attacks. If you want to kill them, do so with Buddha, because they can get easily damaged with them once. But that's not as scary as the new Terror Shark, which is a level 2000 raid boss. They spawn between sea danger levels 2 to 6. Depending on which danger level you're in, the Terror Shark will be stronger and harder to beat. But don't go past level 5 because Terror Sharks that spawn there are really OP, and you'll need your friends to help. It gives some pretty good rewards though, including up to 25,000 belly, and best of all, leveling you up no matter how high your level is. The next edition is Leviathan, and it's definitely one of the craziest enemies. It's a raid boss that can be found in the Frozen Dimension, and on top of the large building in the Tiki Outpost Island, there's an NPC called the Spy. He provides an origin of the Leviathan, as well as clues to summon it. The last one is called Rough Sea, a randomly spawned sea event that clears surrounding rocks, dims the area inside the sea, and spawns lightning that can damage players and their ships. At the moment, no one knows how we can stay safe from lightning, but hopefully we'll figure it out soon. But even with all these changes, it still feels like something's missing. A fighting style? It's definitely not that, because believe it or not, Blox Fruit's developers also decided to add a new fighting style. It's called Sanguine Art, which is extremely powerful, but really difficult to obtain. In order to get your hands on it, you must be on Tiki Island, which means that it's also the final fighting style in the game. On top of that, you must first get a Leviathan's Heart, which you can only get from the Leviathan Sea event. Then go to the basement of the main castle in Tiki Outpost, talk to Shafi, and give him Leviathan's Heart, 20 Demonic Wisps, 20 Vampire Fangs, and 2 Dark Fragments. Only then you will be able to pay 5 million belly and 5,000 fragments to finally obtain Sanguine Art fighting style. Speaking of how good it is, its Z ability launches you where you're aiming your cursor. If you hit your enemy, it'll unleash bat-like creatures on your enemy that will heal you while they deal damage to them. This may be my favorite one from this fighting style, because besides being great for fighting, it's also good for traveling. It drains your enemy's health, breaks instinct, and even has a slight aim assist. The X ability called Scarlet Tear launches 5 slashes towards the cursor, leaving claw marks on the floor or walls. This ability has great range and even greater combo potential. But get ready to hear the name of this last ability, Devourer of Worlds. It launches a dark red blast at the cursor, and when it hits your enemy, it causes 4 energy balls to spawn around the enemy and then attack them. But in case you miss and hit no one, those 4 energy balls will turn into 1 large energy ball and attack the nearest player. At this point, it would be dumb to rework everything in the game and add new things, but then just leave the boats as they are. Luckily, now we have 1 new boat called Beast Hunter, and 4 reworked ones, Lantern, Guardian, Miracle, and Sentinel. The Beast Hunter is a legendary boat equipped with a harpoon that's able to pierce through Leviathan's hard ice and skin. This boat can be obtained by crafting it at the Beast Hunter NPC, and costs 20 Leviathan scales, 6 electric wings, 2 mutant teeth, 30 fool's gold, and 6 shark teeth. I know it seems pricey, but keep in mind that it's impossible to get Leviathan's heart without this boat. The next boat is reworked, and its name is Lantern, a large ship with 2 cannons on each side and a lantern in the front. It can be bought from the luxury boat dealer for 5,000 belly, after you buy it from Cyborg for 1,500 fragments. This boat basically replaced a flower ship in this update, and that's it. Next one is the Guardian, a boat that replaced Swan Boat, and the only things changed were the size and the name. And the final boat that was reworked is a well-known speedboat, but instead of being named Speedboat, now it's called Miracle. You can get 200 fragments for free by going to Hydra Island that's located on the 3rd sea. Once you're there, head over to the arena trainer, start the quest, and kill your enemy. And there you go, you've just earned yourself 200 fragments. Don't get scared once you see that the trainer's got the dark blade. Luckily, he can't use any abilities. Also, you can start this quest every hour. Did you know that boats can fly? It's so simple to do this, but just a tiny number of players know about this. All you have to do is take a control fruit, create a dome with its first ability, and launch your boat into the sky. That's almost as fast as the portal. Do you know about this secret AFK farming method? Get ready for this one by equipping an elemental fruit, and then get get yourself a katana. Go to any NPC that doesn't have haki and turn on your auto clicker. The NPC won't be able to hit you, and you can leave the auto clicker on overnight. In the morning, you'll have quite some loot, but make sure to use the worst sword because in this case, the amount of hits is the thing that matters most. This one's not a trick, but more of a prank you can abuse to make fun of your friends. Buy Fast Boat's Game Pass and hype up your friend to get a ride in your super fast boat. Once they get in and ride off, just spawn the boat again and the boat your friend was in will despawn and drown them. I could try this if I had any friends. When most players launch the game for the first time, they start killing NPCs one by one, which is really slow. Instead, hit each of them once and lure them on yourself. Once they're all at the same spot, use splash abilities to kill them quicker. This way you will deal damage to all of them by using the ability once. Do you know about the giant Buddha sword? You heard that right. Simply transform into the Buddha and hold your sword. You shouldn't have equipped your sword while transforming to Buddha. Once you transform, you have to quickly equip your sword and undo the Buddha at the exact same moment. Now you're a little guy carrying a huge sword. It doesn't do much, but it looks really cool. The giant sword looks cool, but it's not as useful as this one. If you're still in the first sea, head over to the upper sky, but make sure you're at least level 425. Now kill both bosses and just hop on another server and repeat. You'll thank me later. For each beast you kill, you get anywhere from $50,000 to $250,000. Now that loot triples when a sea beast storm happens. There are 3 beasts you have to kill and get a maximum of $750,000. Now there's one more trick. If you bought double money, you can get up to 1.5 million just by killing 3 sea beasts. I mean, it's not just 3, but you get me. Did you know that you used to be able to get banned in Blox just by playing normally? Back in the day, the ban system worked so well that it banned every suspect. Many people reported they got banned for doing literally nothing, but thankfully the ban system is updated and nowadays it's way harder to get banned. But what if you want to go even further? Instead of getting banned, get your account deleted. If you ever scam anyone in Blox, your whole Roblox account will get deleted. I think this one is fair because I literally hate scammers. Subscribe if you hate them too. This one is 100% bannable. It's called the Frozen Quiet Rush glitch, and it's most known as the sus glitch. In order to do this, you need to get a katana. Open the inventory menu, hold Z skill, and then release the Z and click the unequip button at the same time. You must be super quick. But if you're wondering why it's called the sus glitch, see for yourself. This is by far the easiest method to get banned. Thousands of players get banned every single day because they clicked on a link some other player sent them. It's called phishing. People make a fake page where you have to log into your Roblox account, but it's actually just a bait that'll make you give them your account details. The player will use your account to cheat on it and have fun and probably get banned. So even if you successfully get your account back, you'll be banned on Blox and there's no chance you're ever getting unbanned. Just don't click on any suspicious links. We all hate when we run out of air jumps, but luckily there's a glitch that will help you with this. Once you run out of air jumps, just use Leopard's X move. It'll regenerate all of your air jumps. People are saying this is bannable, but let's be real. How will the admin even find out? And if an admin's watching, I would never do something like that. When I say that auto clicker is allowed, I mean it, but you can't use it for AFK grinding anymore. I see more and more people complaining about getting banned after using an auto clicker to AFK grind, so I assume it's just not allowed anymore. You can still use the auto clicker, but if you do so, make sure you're not AFK. And when I think about it, it makes more sense because why would a game allow for people to make money and level up while they're sleeping? And the next one is Control Gamma Rush glitch, a glitch that allows you to walk with your control area and even move it around. You need to set up your control room and hold Control V move for 10 seconds or more until you are able to move. And then there you go. I don't really see a point in this though. And why is it even bannable? You probably won't like this one if you have a bad internet connection. Back in the day, Bloxford's cheat detection was so sensitive it would often ban players just because they had bad ping. Imagine stressing out playing on a bad connection, getting banned, and then also stressing out because you just got banned. I wouldn't be able to stand that. The next way of getting fruits is to just steal them. Okay, not really stealing, but when a player dies, he will drop a fruit he had but wasn't in his inventory at that moment. So all you need to do is pick it up from the ground. This can also be a good farming method. Just go around the server and watch players PvP. Stay near them, and once one of them dies, he'll probably drop a fruit. Pick it up and run away, because if he comes back, he's gonna be looking for revenge. Since Blox Fruits was first made, there's been tons of in-game events, ranging from Christmas to Valentine's events. Many of you, however, don't know that these events sometimes mean free fruits. For example, on November 29, 2022, a 1-week 10 billion visits milestone event started. During this event, there was a temporary currency called confetti, which could be obtained from the shop NPCs or chests from the third sea. Once you got enough confetti, you are able to exchange them for fruits and XP boosts. I wish this was still in the game. And the last event that took place in Blox Fruits was the Valentine's event that released in February 2023. By the time this video's out, there may even be a new one. Who knows? That's super cool. I feel like you should have known this one by now, but if you didn't, now you do. But there's one more NPC you can get a fruit from, and many of you actually don't know about him. His name is Death King, and he's located in Mausoleum, which can be found in the graveyard in the haunted castle in the 3rd sea. He's considered to be a great NPC because you can get fruit from him and then pay him in bones. This sounds way too good to be true, but unfortunately it's not. I mean, it is, but only during the Halloween events. He used to sell a kitsune fruit, which is the most expensive fruit in the entire game. It costs 8 million, and that's if you're lucky enough to even find it in the stock in the first place. Demand for this fruit is crazy high due to its grinding and PvP potential. And there's one more way it can be obtained, and that's through Kitsune Shrine. Kitsune Shrine is an NPC added in the Kitsune update, and he's located on the Kitsune Island, which can only be found during a full moon. But it's not going to be easy. Don't say I didn't warn you. A giant diamond player was one of the most exploited glitches back in the day. This glitch enabled you to become a big diamond man for as long as you were in the server or until you died. You needed to eat Buddha fruit, transform, and then eat diamond fruit and activate the encrust ability. This glitch was automatically patched when in update 17.3, devs made it impossible to eat another fruit if you were in the transform. Why did they do this? It was so cool. Did you know that paw fruit doesn't exist anymore? Well, sort of. In update 20, paw fruit was renamed to pain fruit due to copyright reasons, but the moveset remained the same, with the only difference being the word paw switched out for pain. But I think pain fruit sounds way cooler because paw fruit sounds so friendly and not intimidating at all. You're an OG if you ever had a soul fruit in your inventory because it got removed in the update 17.3.5. The soul fruit was a natural fruit that used to cost 3.4 million belly. It was one of the 13 fruits that glowed in its physical form, and the highest move required 350 mastery, and the reason it got removed was once again copyright. Nowadays it's slightly reworked and called spirit fruit. Which one do you like more? I can bet my friend's life you've never heard about the Norp NPC, only because I don't have any friends. But that's not important now. Norp was an NPC that could be found in the cafe or the mansion in the 3rd sea. In exchange for 3,000 fragments, he would change your race randomly. You could get 4 races from him: human, angel, shark, or rabbit. Unfortunately, you can no longer find Norp, but you can find Tor, who is Norp's long lost brother, I guess, because they do very similar things. Have you ever been on the North Pole Island? If not, that's probably because you missed it during the Christmas event. It was pretty easy to find even though it was supposed to be a special island. It was located right next to the frozen village, so all you need to do is simply go to the frozen village, look to the right of it, and there you would find the North Pole Island. When it comes to the 2nd sea, it's near the cursed ship. I wonder if this island will actually come back at some point. The North Pole Island that used to exist was filled with interesting stuff. One of those being presents, an item that was earned by destroying a big present that spawns on the North Pole at the center. You didn't have to break the big present in order to get the gift, as it used to open on its own after a few seconds and release a bunch of small gifts depending on how many players were surrounding it. Each player would only be able to get 1 gift each hour, and opening a gift would give one player a random Blox fruit, but also a small chance of granting a mythical accessory called the Holiday Cloak. The present event used to start every hour at the North Pole, but as the island was removed, the present was too. I really hope this comes back one day. Valentine's Day isn't too far away, and hopefully we'll get the chance to buy the Cupid's coat once again. The Cupid's coat was a legendary accessory you were able to obtain by purchasing it from the Valentine's event shop for 750 hearts. This coat used to give you quite a few buffs: 12.5% more damage on fruits and sword attacks, 8% defense against any attack, and 400 energy and 600 health. Since the Valentine event ended long ago, you're not able to purchase it anymore, and it's considered removed. I've never seen someone wearing it either. Did you know about this? Let me know down below. You probably know all about the ghost fruit, but I bet you don't know about its father called Revive fruit. Revive fruit was an uncommon natural fruit that cost 550,000 belly. This fruit was able to revive the player by using C move after being killed, and it was the only fruit with this ability. Still, it was very unused due to the fact that it had only 2 attack moves, and both of them were only useful on rare occasions. In the update 20.1, this fruit was reworked as a ghost fruit, and I must say it doesn't remind me of Revive fruit at all. So was this really removed? Let me know what you think. Have you ever heard about the NPC that got removed 3 times already? The Magic Elf is a limited time NPC who sells several boosts and items in exchange for candy. It was added in Update 13 before being removed in Update 14, and then re-added in the first part of Update 17, and once again removed in the second part of Update 17. Last time it was re-added was in Update 18, and then it got removed on March 1st of 2023. I think that's the last time we had an opportunity to see Magic Elf, because something tells me he's not coming back. The next one is an incredible way of leveling up. This makes it possible to level up for your friends without them having to do much. All you need to do is collect as many fragments as possible, a few thousand preferably. Then go buy a raid ship and start a raid against Order. This is a great way to carry your friends and level up for them, because 5 of you can collect fragments, get into a raid, complete it, and get 3 level ups. How? Well, Order grants the player 3 level ups, except if you're over level 2000. Then you get 2 level ups, but still, if you're at level 2548 and kill Order, you'll become max level. The same thing can be done if you're in the 3rd sea, just instead of Order, you'll need to defeat Rip Indra, which is slightly more difficult, but still doable. Let me go ask my friends if they'll help me level up. Oh yeah, I forgot. I don't have any friends. There are some pretty cool shades you should get in the 1st sea. If you go to the Fountain Island and defeat a boss named Cyborg, you'll get the rare accessory called Cool Shades, which are just some black glasses. These are not just some black glasses. These glasses are a must-have. Why, you ask? Well, they give you 100 more energy, 100 more health, 7.5% more damage, and 17.5% faster movement speed. And all you have to do is literally kill 1 boss, which is super easy. These glasses will make your leveling up process way faster. But if you don't want to do all the grinding for the true triple katana, don't worry, I've got something similar that's completely free. If you go over to the Ice Castle and head inside of it, there will be a boss known as Awakened Ice Admiral. You'll need to kill him, but be careful since he's level 1400. But once you do it, you'll get a hidden key, which you can use to get a secret chest located under the stairs. That will give you a sword called Rengoku. Even though Blox Fruits is based on the One Piece anime, for some reason Blox Fruits developers decided to include a sword from the Demon Slayer anime. Still, Rengoku is a pretty good sword, and for some reason my character is holding it really suspicious. Anyways, you'll pass through the 2nd sea super easily with this sword, so I definitely recommend you get it. But here's another important thing many of you may forget to do. I'm talking about Race Awakening. Race Awakening puts you way ahead of others, and gives you tons of benefits that will help you out while grinding. To awaken your race, you'll need to complete specific quests, puzzles, and trials, depending on the race you want to get. Once you awaken your race, it'll enhance their mobility, reduce your cooldown, improve defense, aid in PvP and PvE combat, and much more. But before you head to awaken your race, make sure to fulfill all the requirements needed. You need to be in the 3rd sea, any race V3 if you're upgrading to V4, defeat Rip Indra at least once, have a mirror fractal, have found the blue gear on Mirage Island, and even more. But yeah, even though it might be exhausting to awaken your race, it's undoubtedly worth it. Jaw's Shield is probably one of the best accessories you can get for leveling up. It's a rare accessory that can be obtained after completing 5 quests from the Player Hunter NPC, and then talking to an NPC called Takomura, who's located at the castle on the sea. And this accessory gives you some crazy good perks. These include plus 500 energy, 250 health, plus 12.5% melee damage, plus 10% on defense from melee attacks, and to top it all off, plus 50% movement speed. This accessory is a must-have, and even though these sound like tiny numbers, you won't believe how important they are and how big of a difference they make. This is what separates you from being a high level and a tremendously high level. You probably didn't know that one of the best accessories to use in the 1st sea is Black Cape. To get this accessory, go to Marine Fortress, climb on top of the right tower, like the rightest tower, and then go down. Down there you will find a Parlous NPC, and do you know what you can get from him? Yep, you guessed it, a Black Cape. Black Cape costs 50,000 belly, and it's one of the rare accessories that has no requirements. You just need 50,000 to buy it, and that's it. Black Cape bumps up both your health and energy by 100, and gives 5% more damage on any attack. And let me know down below, was this something you got in the 1st sea? But here's another accessory that's OP for leveling up. It's called Pilot Helmet, and it's not that hard to get. This accessory buffs your movement speed by a whopping 130%, speeds up your health regeneration by 10%, and bumps up your health and energy by 250. Honestly, this is one of my favorite accessories in the entire game, and to get it, you just need to defeat stone bosses in the port town. Then you have a 5% chance of getting it every time you kill a boss, and if you don't get it the first time, just server hop until you do. I honestly don't know how someone found this out. Did you know that you can set your spawn point from outside of the mansion, literally through the wall? Like, how do you spot that? I honestly don't know, but this might save you 0.001 seconds of your life someday. Now that's hidden. The Blox Fruits map is full of some random blocks sticking out from various places. The most famous one is that huge block sticking out in front of the haunted castle. No one knows how and why it's there. Devs had probably just forgotten to remove it, but I don't mind it honestly. There's also another block long longer than it's supposed to be in the port town, which is just super funny. You probably didn't know that some of the gravestones in the graveyard make fun of special people's deaths. One of the gravestones appeared to be FUD 10's gravestone, and it implies how he once, when he was alive, said, "Can I have a gravestone?" Something's telling me he was working on the game with the rest of the developers, and jokingly said this. And now here it is. Luckily, he was just joking with his friends, and he's still alive, I guess? I wish I had friends to joke around with. Anyways, FUD 10 was laying in his gravestone alone until update 13, when another gravestone finally got text. This was E's gravestone, and it said, "If I get to BV, I will stop." And underneath that, there are 3 letters, TBA, which stands for to be announced. No one really knows what the purpose of his message was, but those 3 letters tell us that there's more things coming up, even though this was several updates ago, and we still don't know its meaning. The third and last gravestone was on behalf of Wenlock, and it says dead for disrespecting his masters. I guess he threw a few disrespectful jokes, but his friends still put on headphones in his graveyard so he could get a better experience while watching my videos. Throughout Blox Fruit's history, the game was constantly getting new hidden hints, and only the players with the sharpest pair of eyes were able to spot them. Here are some of them. The first hint is located in the cafe, and it says it exists. Even if some of you have already seen it, I bet you don't know what it means. But don't worry, I'll tell you. It means that the white aura does in fact exist. Or does it mean the One Piece is real? The second hint can be found in the awakening room, and it says life form, which hints that you need all the races to get white aura. And there's also another hint in the basement of the lab, and this one says undead, which hints us about zombies. And guess where the zombies are? At the graveyard, of course. And where can you get white aura? Also at the graveyard. Meaning that all of the hints since day one were implying that white aura will eventually exist. It's crazy how developers had this all planned out from the beginning. Did you know about this? Comment down below. Some of you may have already talked to this NPC called King Redhead, but I'm pretty sure none of you know what he's actually talking about. King Redhead is one of the most mysterious and developed NPCs in the whole entire game. He's located in the second sea, and if you're in the third sea and go back to the second sea to talk to him, he'll say, "Hi, this is a mental image of myself. I'm currently sealed in the third sea." And if you go back to the third sea and look behind the sea castle, you'll see some sort of a stone tablet where King Redhead's body parts are sealed in. Here's a backstory if you don't know how that happened. Him and Rip Indra actually got in a fight, and Rip Indra absolutely destroyed him. But that wasn't enough, so he decided to cut him up and cement his body into one huge gravestone. No one knew Rip Indra was that crazy, huh? But if that wasn't hidden enough, this one is even crazier, being rated one of the best hiding spots in the game. This spot will make sure no one can ever find you, not even the admins. To hide here, you'll need to go to the ice castle, stand close to this wall, adjust your angle, and flash step your way inside of it. Not only is it the best hiding spot, but it's also huge, so you can, I don't know, train, test your moves, do some push-ups, anything. You can even bring your friends here and hang out with them all day long, and that's exactly what I was planning to do. Oh yeah, I just remembered I don't have any. And once you unlock every purchasable aura color, you'll receive one of the coolest titles so far, Hakaishin, which in Japanese means God of Destruction. I doubt many players have this one because it is just too hard to obtain. In order to obtain the next title, you'll need to visit Spooky Graveyard. The title is Slayer of God, and in order to get it, you'll need Darkblade, then the Angel, Rabbit, Shark, and Human races at their V3 stage or above. And on top of all of that, 2 Fists of Darkness. You'll need one for starting a Darkbeard raid, and one to open the door at the graveyard. But keep in mind that you cannot have 2 fists in your inventory at once, meaning you need to get a friend to get 1 fist, and you to get another. I automatically know I'm never getting this one, since I don't have any friends. But it's not like I have a Darkblade. The next one is definitely far more simple. The title is Lonely Reaper, and in order to obtain it, you need to collect 1,000 ectoplasm. It'll definitely take you some time to collect those and get the title, but hey, at least you can do it without owning a Darkblade. This might be the craziest title I've ever heard. It's called Pirate King, and if you want to get it, you'll need to be the owner of a crew that has been on the top 10 of the leaderboard. It's got the nice yellow color, and it's pretty obvious why not many people have it. Now we have a bit sweeter sounding of a title, Loco Verde. If you collect 1,000 candies during the event, you'll be rewarded with this perfect shade of green title. I just love green. Here's another title only 3rd C players can get, but it's still a great one. Raid Boss is a title you get once you get a fruit from a pirate raid event. This event happens every 1 hour and 15 minutes, but keep in mind that chances of getting a fruit from this event are extremely low. In order to get the next one, you need to defeat an elite pirate, level 1,750 NPCs. There are 3 elite pirates in the game, DeAndre, Diablo, and Urban, DeAndre uses Awakened Magma, Diablo uses Awakened Dark, and Urban uses Awakened Rumble. Sometimes these guys can be extremely tough, but it all depends on you. Now I'm asking you, is this really worth getting the Gray title? I mean, you must do it, however. But is Gray enough? Despite being wanted and difficult to obtain titles, it's time to take a break from those Gray titles. And now we'll spice things up a bit with a red title called Demon Mode. In order to get this title, you need to obtain a legendary sword Yama, and I think this one's totally worth it. In total, there are 39 swords and Blox fruits, and in order to obtain them, all you'd have to do is grind for months, if not years. There are several ways to obtain swords in the game, but only 1.31% of players have obtained all swords. What sword do you use? Did you know that the bounty cap in Blox fruits is 30 million? To this day, only 1.23% of players have succeeded to get the max bounty. Let's make a bounty leaderboard down in the comments. Did you know that your chances of meeting a hacker in Blox fruits are 1.15%? That doesn't really seem high, but it's also not low either. Maybe Blox fruits needs to get a better anti-cheat system. Dragon fruit is an incredible PvP fruit due to its powerful AoE and instinct break moves, but its chances of being in stock are only 1%, whilst its chances of spawning on the ground are only 0.7%. When I launched Blox fruits for the first time, I met an admin right away. I didn't have a clue how lucky I was though, because the chances of meeting an admin are only 0.98%. The Kitsune fruit is a mythical beast type Blox fruit that costs 8 million belly when in stock. This Blox fruit is the second newest and most expensive fruit, and it has an incredibly high demand due to its grinding and PvP potential. You can obtain this fruit from Kitsune Shrine, but with a chance of only 0.5%. Matter of fact, you have higher chances of getting it from Kitsune Shrine than finding it in stock, because in stock it has only a 0.25 chance to appear. I won't even talk about finding it on the ground, because there's no way you'll ever find it when its chance of spawning is 0.1%. Also, if you hope to get it from Blox Fruit Gacha, forget about it because there's a 0.05 chance you'll get Kitsune fruit from him. Leopard is arguably one of the most difficult fruits to obtain in the entire game. It's the second most expensive fruit, and you have a 0.4% chance to find it in stock and 0.25% chance to find it on the ground. Getting it from Blox Fruit Gacha is even more rare because there's only a 0.1% chance you'll get it from him. Subscribe if you love Leopard. Blox Fruits is filled with some really amazing accessories that makes playing the game way better, as well as some really bad accessories no one ever uses. However, obtaining all accessories is a big flex, but you've only got a 0.08% chance of doing that. Alright, this one might be the coolest fan-made fruit in this video so far. It's called Gas Fruit. It has 4 moves, and I just love it. The first move is called Gas Lining, and it's an area of effect move that shoots out some sort of gas shurikens. The second move is called Gas Laughing, and this move shoots out 3 gas balls, which then merge into one huge ball. Now here we have arguably the coolest move ever. It's called Gas Cover, and it spawns a gas cloud around you, and when this move is activated, you can fly. This is the perfect transportation move that on top of that deals damage. Last but not least is the most powerful gas fruit move called Exclusion Zone, and that name already tells us it's something crazy. This move spawns a huge gas cloud around you, damaging every enemy in its range. I'm just wondering how much energy these moves consume, or should I say how much gas they consume. When the weather gets warmer, snow becomes water, so here we have a water fruit. Since we already have ice fruit, and we'll maybe get a snow fruit, we must also get the water fruit. This fruit only has 3 moves, the first one being water drops, which launches huge water drops onto your enemy. These are not drops, these are literally pools of water. The next move is called Spinning Wave, and it looks absolutely sick. I really want to know how much damage this one deals. But the last water fruit move is called Water Vortex. I think this is some kind of a barrier fruit because it looks like it spawns a water vortex around you and protects you from the enemies by dealing damage to them. Comment down below, what do you think about this one? Next up on the list, we've got a flower fruit, which at first sounds funny, but believe me, it's pretty interesting. This fruit would look like a cherry blossom flower, and it would have 5 moves. The first one is called Succulent Full Shunt, and it would make your hands 3 times larger. Your arms would literally bloom, and then it would shove forward with an open palm, aiming at your cursor's location, dealing 3,200 damage to your enemy. The next move is called Floral Confine, and it would flood the area around you with cherry blossom flowers, which would then converge into hands and latch on to nearby enemies, stunning them and dealing 2,340 damage. The third move is called Orchid Opulence, which is basically the concept of the first move, but a few shoves at once. This move would deal 3,650 damage, but that's nothing compared to the next move, which would make your hands sprout, spawn a cherry blossom tree, and then drop petals that deal small amounts of damage on the ground. And on top of that, automatically cast Crush every 4 seconds on anyone who enters under the leaves. This crazy move would deal over 5,000 damage. The last move is an area of effect move that gives gives you cherry blossom wings and plunges you downward in a low jump kick pose, dealing the area of effect damage wherever you land. This is definitely one of the most planned out fruit concepts so far. Subscribe if you'd love to get this in Blox fruit. The next accessory we have is legendary, and it's a zebra cat. This accessory is guaranteed to be dropped after defeating Order, who can be spawned by starting an Order raid in the hidden laboratory on the hot side of the hot and cold island in the second sea. Zebra Cap grants you plus 10% sword damage, 15% faster cooldown, plus 500 energy, and plus 100 health. Considering this accessory is guaranteed, I suggest you get it as soon as you can. Swan is definitely one of the most mentioned names in Blox fruits, and the next accessory is Swan Glasses, which there's a chance you can get after defeating Dawn Swan. Swan Glasses are considered OP, and they're legendary for a reason. They give you 25% faster movement speed, 8% higher damage on everything and anything, 8% faster skills cooldown, plus 8% defense, plus 250 energy, and plus 250 health. This is one of my favorite accessories in the whole game, even though they're really difficult to obtain. Is Ghoul Mask the scariest looking accessory in the game? I don't know, but I know it makes you go fast, like really fast. Ghoul Mask can be bought from El Perro, who is located in the cursed ship for 50 ectoplasm. This accessory gives you 10% life leech, 2.5% against NPCs, plus 35% speed, and lastly plus 500 energy. You'll start zooming through the seas once you get the Ghoul Mask. Next up, we have one of the most loved accessories in all of Blox fruits. I'm talking about Dark Coat, which is a legendary accessory that gives you plus 600 health and energy, and increases your fruit damage by 15%. The Dark Coat can be obtained after defeating the Darkbeard raid boss, who spawns after a Fist of Darkness is placed on the altar at the Dark Arena. Comment down below if you've got this accessory. Did you know that the pilot helmet is the fastest accessory in the game? This accessory increases your movement speed by a whopping 130%. That's literally more than double. And on top of that, it also gives you 10% faster health regeneration and plus 250 health and energy. This accessory can be dropped from Stone, which is located in Port Town, the first island in the third sea. It's pretty easy to get, and it's good for grinding, because you can do a dash trick with this accessory. But next among the best accessories in the third sea is Jaw Shield. Jaw Shield gives you 12.5% more damage on melee attacks, 10% defense against melee attacks, 50% faster movement speed, and 500 energy and 250 health. The Jaw Shield can be obtained by completing 5 quests from the Player Hunter, and then interacting with the Takomura NPC, who is located on the top of the stairs to the left upon entering the castle on the sea. Captain Elephant also wears this accessory, but he doesn't have the buffs and doesn't drop it, so I guess he's just protecting his jaw. If you're using a Cyborg race, you'll love the next one because it's good for pairing the Cyborg race because of V2 energy regeneration passive. This accessory is Holy Crown, and it can be obtained after defeating the Soul Reaper raid boss. Holy Crown gives you 5% more damage on any attack, 5% more defense against any attack, 5% faster energy regeneration, and 500 energy and 500 health. Although the drop chance is 100%, it's pretty difficult to obtain, but if you ask me, it's definitely worth it. The next accessory is basically an alternative version of Pale Scarf, and it's called Kitsune Mask. This accessory can be obtained by submitting 15 or more Azure Embers at the Kitsune Shrine during the Blue Moon event, which is on Kitsune Island. Kitsune Mask gives you 10% higher fruit damage, plus 2 instinct dodges, 15% increased passive regeneration on fruit meters, 50% more enhanced vision in dark seas, and plus 750 health. It's definitely the most useful accessory for exploring dark seas. Did you know that Magma got a rework and some of its features got removed? Well, not really. The only thing that got removed is Magma's old price, which was 850,000 belly. Now the fruit costs 960,000 belly, which makes me super annoyed. You probably didn't know about this if you never used Love Fruit before. Love Fruit used to have a move which gave you a flamingo. Well, actually it still has it, but the old flamingo got removed from the game and we got a brand new one. The biggest change between these is that the old flamingo used to only see you, while the new flamingo can see you and your besto friendo. If you're not an OG, then you probably don't know what String Fruit was, but it's pretty easy to guess. String Fruit is the old name of Spider Fruit. The moves were pretty much kept the same, with just a few minor changes, one of them being their names. Did you know that Leopard's transformation had this cooldown that was getting on the nerves of every Leopard user? Once you turn off the transformation, you weren't able to select any other item for some time. I literally don't know why this was happening, and it was probably a glitch, who knows? What's important is that it got removed, and Leopard users can now enjoy switching items like every other player on the server. Portal Fruit has always somehow been different from other fruits, almost like it was getting a better treatment, and this next fact proves that. Before update 19, players were able to use Portal Fruit and kill other players within save zone. Just imagine how annoying this was. I assume this next one was a glitch, but it was so good that I want it back. Players used to literally become permanently invisible at random times. You were able to notice this once it happened to you because it seemed like no other player saw you. Attacking them was a really fun way to prank other players, and seeing their crazy reaction as they wonder what's going on. This was way too hilarious. Basic was a boat you probably never got to ride if you are a new player. It was a boat with medium speed, 2 cannons, and 2 passenger seats. It was relatively cheap at 2,000 belly and was used in ship raids in the 2nd and 3rd seas. In update 20, however, it got completely reworked, and today it's called Brigade. The second NPC on the list that got removed from the game is Bone Wraith. He was added as a part of the Ghost event, but developers had promised it would stay in the game after the event ends. However, as soon as the event ended, Bone Wraith was removed from the game. Next up, we've got Smoke Admiral. Smoke Admiral is a boss located on the Hot and Cold Island, and he spawns every 20 minutes. He uses Jitty and Smoke Fruit, and upon completing the quest, you can count on getting close to 30,000 belly. If you kill him once a minute, it would mean you could make 1.8 million belly an hour. The last one from the second sea is Fajita. This boss deals over 1,000 damage per hit, and can be extremely hard to kill without a good fruit. Fajita uses moves from the Gravity Fruit, while holding a Gravity Cane, and he spawns every 15 minutes. Upon killing him, you'll receive 25,000 belly, and a whopping 19 million XP. There's also a chance he might drop his Gravity Cane. You could easily make around 1.2 to 1.3 million by server hopping Burrito. Sorry, I mean Fajita. We set our foot in the 3rd sea, and the first boss we've got here is Island Empress. For attacking, Island Empress uses Dark Step and 3 moves from the Old Love Fruit. She has 128,000 HP and spawns every 30 minutes on the Hydra Island. Upon completing the quest, you'll receive 30k belly and 70 million XP. You'll also have a small chance to get Serpentine Bow, but today we're only going to be counting money. Most of her attacks require you to be near her for them to be effective, so if you're far enough away, she will not deal much damage. Server hopping Island Empress for an hour will get you about 800 to 900,000 belly. Next up, we've got Kilo Admiral, another female boss. She spawns every half an hour at the Great Tree Island and has around 140,000 HP. Upon defeating her, you will get 35,000 belly and 78 million XP. She uses the retired Kilo Fruit's X and C moves and Sharkman Karate. Server hopping Kilo Admiral for just 1 hour will make you almost 1.5 million belly. Captain Elephant is one of the trickiest bosses in the 3rd sea. He's located on the Floating Turtle Island and has 160,000 HP and deals 2.3 thousand damage per hit. He uses twin hooks, which he can drop once he's defeated, while also infusing them with aura. He also wears a jaw shield, but he doesn't have the buffs and doesn't drop it. This boss respawns every 30 minutes, and upon defeating him gives you 40,000 belly and 90 million XP. Server hopping Captain Elephant for an hour will get you close to 1.6 belly if you move fast. Who's the prettiest boss in the whole of Blox Fruits? Well, Beautiful Pirate, of course. This boss is not only beautiful, but also a great boss for server hopping. Beautiful Pirate can be found at the Floating Turtle in a gigantic tree with a door, and has a respawn time of 45 minutes. He uses Cavender as his main weapon, which he can drop upon defeating. He's got 2 phases, and once the Beautiful Pirate is low on health, he will go into his 2nd phase. From then, he will start to deal more damage, become much faster, emit purple particles, and his face becomes distorted similarly to how Dawn Swan's 2nd phase looks. Upon defeating him, you will be rewarded with 50,000 belly and a stunning 100 million XP. Server hopping this boss will easily get you 2.5 million belly an hour. Also, another fact, the Beautiful Pirate is regarded as the strongest normal boss in the whole game, just barely surpassing Cake Queen. Speaking of which, let's see how much money you can make server hopping Cake Queen. She's arguably one of the most beloved bosses in the entire game when it comes to farming, and that's because you will get 30 to 45,000 belly for killing her even without starting a quest. Cake Queen's got a lot of HP, I'm talking 261,000 a lot, and respawns every 30 minutes. Killing her won't be easy at all, but with the help of a good fruit and maybe a few friends, it'll be a bit easier. A few friends? Man, I don't even have 1 friend, let alone a few. Anyways, upon completing the quest and killing Cake Queen, you'll be rewarded with approximately 70,000 belly and maybe even with a buddy sword. Server hopping Cake Queen for an hour will easily get you well over 3 million belly. This is literally the best method for making belly in the entire game. Did you know this? Comment down below. I can't believe how many people are sleeping on this one. Spawn Pirates grinding is one of the quickest ways to gather XP in the 2nd sea. A lot of Spawn Pirates spawn close to each other at the Kingdom of Rose Island, and if you have a Buddha, this process will become even easier since Buddha makes your range far bigger, so you will be able to reach them from a distance and they won't even get a chance to hit you. This is the absolute fastest way to level up quickly in Blox Fruits, and it's honestly my favorite method. Get a friend that's way higher level than you, start quests, and let them damage the NPCs until they're one hit for you. too. Then you just kill them and get all of the XP. This one really is my favorite, but I don't have any friends, so I never tried it out. Maybe some of you already know that killing a sea beast gives you a lot of belly, but did you know that you will automatically level up once you kill a sea beast no matter what level you are? The only exception for this is max level. Sea beasts aren't easy to kill, but a level up is a level up. So next time you're riding a boat and see a sea beast, you know what to do. Once you're in the 3rd sea, you will want to head over to the ancient monk. Why, you ask? Because he will teach you the god-human fighting style, which is an enhanced version of the superhuman. God-human is considered to be the best XP and PvP fighting style in the entire game, and although it's hard to obtain and grind for, it's definitely worth it. What if you want to buy a game pass but you don't know what to get? If your goal is to grind without stopping, I recommend you get a double mastery pass. It's arguably the best grinding pass, and it will allow you to level up a fruit, combat style, a sword, or literally anything else, and much faster than you usually would. In case you're rich, here's how you can level up twice as fast. Spend your Robux on 2x XP. For 1500 Robux, you will get 24 hours of double XP, which doesn't run out if you're not playing. So 1500 Robux gets you double XP that can last you through all the seas. Once you spawn for the first time, you will obviously be interested in spending your hard-earned belly onto stupid things. But don't. Instead of buying unnecessary things, save your money and get a good fruit or anything else that's smart. I'm obviously not talking about guns. If you spend your belly like crazy, it will affect your progress a lot. Did you know that Kate Queen is one of the best bosses for farming? Upon killing her, you will receive 2 million XP, and she has a 5% chance of dropping the buddy sword. She takes 30 minutes to respawn, so server hopping would be a pretty good idea for this one. You could get around 6 to 8 million XP per hour. Yeah, you can't say no to that. One more thing you'll get out of AFK farming are actual fruits. Many of you don't know this, but if you leave your game running for a whole night with an auto clicker while standing near NPC spawn points, your character will continue killing them while you're sleeping in your cozy bed. Once you're up in the morning, you'll be surprised with how much belly you made overnight without doing anything. But you'll be even more surprised when you realize that you also have a few different fruits in your inventory. Those NPCs have low chances of dropping a fruit, and you'll make even more money selling those fruits. Not everyone knows that the cursed ship is filled with 8 chests, and each one gives you 2 to 3,000. It only takes a few seconds to collect all of them, and then just server hop and repeat. In a single hour, you can actually make a few million. I bet you didn't know this one. There's an NPC called Death King located on the Haunted Castle Island in the 3rd sea, and for every 50 bones you trade him, he'll give you a few thousand belly. But that's not everything. There's a slight chance of him dropping a fruit. Alright, I'm gonna go collect some bones. This one may be cheating. Just kidding, auto clicker is not a cheat, and it's completely allowed for those who don't know. Just head over to the spawn point of your enemy, turn on your auto clicker, and let them come at you as soon as they spawn, just to get killed. Leave it on overnight and you'll be thanking me in the comments tomorrow. This is the fastest boss raiding method in the whole game. First you have to go to prison, and it would be even better if you have double money. Start the quest with each of these 3 bosses, and use Buddha to kill them in seconds. And best of all, they won't be able to even touch you. This will get you over 70,000, and if you have double money, you'll make 140,000 each time you do this. You'll make over 4 million belly per hour. I don't think there's a better grind than this. Don't even think about getting money by killing Rip Indra if you're not a true pro. Each time you kill him, you'll get about 100,000 if you have double money, or 50k if not. But even more important is that by killing him, you'll get the Dark Blade. That's like 1200 Robux. If you go over to Kingdom of Rose, Mansion to be more precise, you'll find a diamond chest serving as a night table. If you have a double money pass, you'll be able to get over 45,000 every minute just by server hopping and looting this chest. That's over 2 million per hour. This one is definitely in the top 5. And of course, everyone's favorite one, codes. Obviously. Not only is this the favorite, but also the simplest, because all you need to do is write Blox Fruits codes on Google and then you'll get a list of all the codes. Most of them are for double XP though, but that's perfect for farming. There are only 2 codes that give you money, FUDD10, which gives you a single belly, and FUDD10_V2, which gives you a whopping double of what the first code gives you, 2 whole belly. Can you imagine? These codes are literally troll codes because they give very little money, and they were made and dedicated to an admin by the name of FUD, and he was probably the one that made them. You definitely didn't know that one. This one is kinda wrong, but if it works, it works. Simply make a new account, get it to level 100, and go around and ask people for fruits. Yes, just ask players on the top of the board in chat to give you a fruit. You can end up getting tons of fruits in a short time and save yourself a lot of money because now you don't have to buy those. But don't beg anyone. Simply ask, and if they say no, move on. I don't know if you've ever encountered a floating tree in Blox fruits, but if you want to see how this modeling mistake looks, just head over to the cafe and search for the tree that's not fully in the ground. It looks like it's floating because someone that was in charge of this didn't place it as they should have. Most new players don't know about the Yoshi NPC that you can find on the Upper Sky Island. He sells you Tomio rings for 500k belly, which buffs your fruit damage by 10%. That doesn't sound like a lot, but believe me, 10% fruit damage is OP. Buddha is already overpowered, but imagine how even more OP it would become after you get these rings. I bet you didn't know about the Soul Cane sword pros use. I'll show you how to get it. If you go over to the Magma Island and glitch into the left part of the volcano, you'll find an NPC called Living Skeleton. He sells you a Soul Cane sword for 750k belly, and it's considered to be an S tier sword because it's so OP. That's why so many pros use it. I still don't understand why so few people know about Mirage Island. It's a special island that functions apart from all the other islands and is one of the 4 sea events. It can occur randomly anytime you're riding a boat. Once you get on it, everything becomes really dark and your goal is to find an advanced fruit dealer who has some pretty rare fruits in stock. Besides him, you can also find blue gear for Race Awakening. Tons of new players don't know this one. There are 2 fruits in the game that give you PvP advantages. Chop fruits make you immune to any sword, and that's why it's one of the best fruits for new players that are fighting bosses. And a second way to become immune is to use rubber fruit, which makes you immune to any lightning attack. You should definitely write this down. Most of you don't know that there's no need to launch the game just to see if a fruit dealer has anything worth buying in the stock. If you're looking to purchase a good fruit, but you're too lazy to launch the game and see what's in the stock, just get into the game's Discord server. There's a channel called Stock Discussion where players let other players know what the stock looks like and if it's worth launching the game. Pretty neat. Everybody knows that the Dark Blade is overpowered. Well, it is, but the Saber V2 actually has the highest skill damage. When used at the perfect distance, Saber V2 will do over 6,500 damage. What, you all really thought the chess table was just a decoration? No, that chess table located in the cafe is fully functional. Next time someone messes with you, call them out to play chess. The winner gets the most valuable fruit from the other's inventory. One of the best ways to prank your friends in Blox Fruits is to activate Magma's Beast Ride ability while near water. Blox Fruits developers use the same sound effect for this ability as for the spawning of a sea beast. Now your friend will think a sea beast just spawned and they'll run as fast as they can to kill it. You probably don't know this one. If you're a beginner and want to know how everyone has those abilities with cool animations, head over to Arrow. He's an NPC that allows players to evolve their race to V3. That's how you get those cool cosmetic changes and a varying race skill. You can find him in a hidden room under Diamond's Hill. Just don't tell him I told you that. If you just got your control fruit, you probably don't know about this one. If you want to spawn that huge control area, all you've got to do is hold Z instead of just clicking it. This ability also lets you make your boat fly as well. Just a reminder of how great control is. Another thing control fruit allows you to do is become immune to the enemy's hit while you use its C ability. You've got a couple of seconds until the ability ends, and in some situations it could save your life. You definitely didn't know that one. If you equip the human race V3, you will get permanent dodges on any fruit that you have. Your enemy won't be able to hit you 8 times, and if you have a pale scarf, you will get 2 extra dodges. That's so cool. Did you know you should never do your raids in the 3rd sea? The enemies there are literally too overpowered. Always go to the 2nd sea first, where enemies are much easier to kill since they're lower level. Just don't forget to switch your fruits. Hockey is simply amazing. As you level up your hockey, the damage you deliver levels up too. So get your full hockey and level it up as soon as you can. Did you know this? Comment down below. You probably already know about the laboratory used for starting raids on the 2nd sea, but I doubt you know about the 2nd location on the same island where you can also start raids. Head over to the hot side of Hot and Cold Island and climb on top of the mountain. Here you will find a secret door. Inside there's a bunch of capsules for starting a raid. Good to know. This glitch is probably one of the most OP glitches in all of Blox Fruits. You'll first need to get a boat and have Phoenix's X ability unawakened. Use the X ability and then go on the boat. You won't lose any energy when you are on the boat and it can stack. But keep in mind that this glitch sometimes glitches itself and can even glitch you out of the game. I just said glitch way too many times. Comment how many times I said it. Open up your avatar tab and make your avatar super small. This gives you a huge advantage in PvP since some moves are harder to hit due to the smaller hitbox. I don't don't even understand why you wouldn't want to do this. Me personally, I'll take functionality over looks any day of the week. If having 4 people in a raid isn't already enough, here's how you can double that number. You need 4 people with Love Fruit's F move, and then simply get 2 people on 1 flamingo. Just make sure to properly angle the flamingo in order to get into the raid. But once you do this, you're going to have the easiest raid in the entire world. You definitely didn't know that one. I bet you didn't know that if you hold Barrier Fruit's X move or Dragon Fruit's Z move before you teleport into the raid, you will be teleported all the way back to the raid's room or castle on the sea. There are some other moves that may also work, but I'm not gonna tell you which ones. This one only works sometimes, so try it and let me know if it worked for you. Find someone who's AFK in their boat and simply push the boat out from under them. Their boat also might get submerged in the water. This is a great way to prank your friends or to just confuse any AFK players. But this brand new Buddha glitch is even crazier. To do this, you'll need perm fruits, and not just any perm fruits. First, get your Buddha and equip it, and then open your fruit selection and spam click on control fruit. At first, it'll ask you to disable your transformation first, but if you spam it enough, it will simply equip control fruit. Now you're an absolute giant with control fruit. Nobody's gonna want to mess with you. I wish I knew this years ago. Did you know about this flight glitch that was so overpowered they removed it from the game? All you need to do is have chop fruit activated and turn on shift lock. Then activate your C move and switch to your sword as fast as possible. Once you've done this, you'll be able to fly just by spam pressing your spacebar and hitting A and D. That's insane. Smaller avatars actually perform better in PvP. How? Easy. Smaller avatars are much harder to hit because, well, they have smaller hitboxes. If you don't believe me, try it out for yourself. From now on, I'm only wearing smaller avatars when I'm about to PvP someone. The first time I started the game, I somehow got in this house without even knowing a thing about the game. There's one house on the middle island you can enter and find a very interesting surprise in it. There's nothing worthy inside, but since it's an Easter egg house, the content of it is pretty wild. Check it out. For those of you that attempted fighting Don Swan, you never fought him in the mansion. Instead, you're teleported to another location on the map that's not even close to the mansion. I mean, what did you expect? It's obvious that in-game fruits were inspired by the One Piece anime, but only a few of you know that the fruit characteristics were fully copied from One Piece. For example, Ice Fruit lets you walk on water, just like Aokiji in One Piece. Using this glitch will make sure you win every PvP battle out there. Take God Human Fruit and use the Soaring Beast, the Z move. Then face up and quickly face down and spam spacebar. Your new nickname will be Speed. Did you know that dying to an NPC makes you lose bounty?
Yeah, we already know this.
Well, you may know the first part, but you don't know how much bounty you lose after dying from which NPC. The amount of bounty you lose is actually an NPC's level. For example, if an NPC is level 10, you will lose 1,000. Simple math. On the Castle of the Sea, there are bookshelves that are unbreakable, but there's a way of breaking them, and it's pretty easy. All you need to do is go outside and break a tree, and then quickly run to the bookshelves and break them. This secret gets a reward for being the most useless secret ever. I really want to meet the person that found this out. Can you imagine how bored they were? Did you know that you can actually get a free leopard? I didn't believe this at first, but when I hit that red subscribe button down below and launched Blox fruits, I had a leopard fruit in my inventory. How crazy is that? I can't even imagine how much effort the game's developers had to put in order to make that work. Do you know that fruit won't disappear if you drop it onto a wall? Instead, it will land at the top of the wall. That's pretty weird. Blox fruits developers really said no to the laws of physics. But if you're creative enough, this would be a good way to prank your friends. Get your most expensive fruit and drop it into the wall. Now your friends will think you literally wasted the fruit, but actually it's on top of the building. Completely safe. This next one makes no sense. But did you know that you can use an ice skate to skate on lava and not take any damage? Like, how is this even possible? Wouldn't the lava melt the ice? Lava is clearly stronger than ice. So why doesn't it melt? I guess the devs just didn't think about this one. This one's not a secret, but definitely something many of you didn't know. When you have no fruits, you can swim without taking any damage. So now I have a question. Is the Blox Fruits world jealous because we got its fruit and now it wants to kill us? It sure seems that way. Did you know that the rarest thing in Blox Fruits is leopard fruit spawning in every server at once? It's so rare that the chances of me finding a friend are higher than this happening. And that's about 0%. You definitely didn't know about this one. Boats in the second sea are are slightly faster than boats in the first sea, and boats in the third sea are way faster than boats in the first and second sea. This is super useful to know, but useless if you're still a noob. But still, light holds its title as the fastest way of traveling in the entire game. Did you know this? Comment down below. Did you know that you can destroy this bridge in the second sea? Or rip it in half to be more precise. You'll need control fruit and its X move. Just stand on the middle of the bridge, make a control area, and levitate it into the air. And boom, you just destroyed the bridge. But people will still be able to use it, as long as they know how to jump. I wish I knew this years ago. If you go over to the bar area at the sea castle and talk to the bartender, he'll tell you about some real and some not real Blox fruits spawning at the sea. And no, he's not just talking nonsense. Real fruits do randomly spawn. Head over to the Great Tree Island and search for a real fruit. And comment down below if you've ever found a real fruit in Blox fruits. If you take a look at this house, it looks just like any other. But this house hides a secret. It's a perfect hiding spot because you can literally walk into it. This is a great way to prank your friends. And also a great place to hide if someone's chasing you. I bet you didn't know about this one, even though it's logical when you really think about it. Some bushes and Blox fruits will slow you down if you dash through them. I'm not sure if this is just a glitch or it's actually meant to exist. Maybe it'll get patched in a future update. Those dark blades with white hockey look way too cool. Have you ever wondered how to get one? Well, first you obviously need a dark blade, and then head over to Graveyard, where you will be able to find a Rip Indra NPC who will change your dark blade's hockey color. How cool is that? Locksmith is an NPC that allows you to upgrade your swords and guns, but I often see new players upgrading literally useless items such as katana or any kind of gun. This is a big no-no because you will spend your material upgrading items that you probably won't use in the future. Instead, you should save your materials and upgrade the items you know you'll stick to until reaching max level. A massive mistake new players make is not dashing while fighting. This is extremely important because it allows you to hit your enemy and then quickly dash away from them so they don't hit you. It'll be your friend because your defense stat is probably still low. And for someone like me, it's great because I don't have any friends. If you've watched some of my videos, you know how much I love Buddha and how OP it is. And this is actually one of the biggest mistakes players make. I'm talking about grinding without a Buddha fruit. There are some good grinding fruits out there such as lighter magma, but none of these can compare with Buddha at all. Its range and speed are truly a must-have if you want to reach max level fast, even though it costs 1.2 million belly or 1,650 fragments. I promise you that it will pay for itself in no time. But if you're still poor, ask your friend to buy it for you. That's exactly how I got my Buddha fruit. Yeah, I'm lying again. I don't have any friends. One of the most common things players do in Blox fruits is ignoring sea beasts. Most of you do this because you think they're too OP and impossible to kill. Sure, they are pretty difficult, but you shouldn't be ignoring them. And especially don't avoid them once you see them spawn. That's because they don't spawn very often. So once they spawn, you're literally missing out on a huge reward. A lot of belly, fragments, and even a chance of getting fruit or an accessory. A Fist of Darkness is valuable, and it's just another reason why you shouldn't be avoiding sea beasts. Trust me, this one might save your life one day. A ghoul mask is a must-have rare item, and not having it is a massive mistake. This mask gives you the ability to gain health equivalent to a portion of the damage you deal with melee attacks known as Life Leech. When having it equipped, you'll gain health equivalent to 10% of your damage dealt to players and 2.5% against NPCs. On top of that, Ghoul Mask also gives you 35% more running speed and 500 energy. It's literally a must-have. If you completed the quest I'm about to tell you, you're lucky, my friend. Oh, you're not my friend. I don't have any friends. Anyways, in early 2022, players found a mistake developers made, and a really big one. One of the developers added an extra 0, and now Amazon Area 2 Quest Giver NPC gave players 645 million XP instead of 64.5 million, which was the amount he was supposed to. Just imagine how easy it was to reach max level by exploiting this. Unfortunately, it was patched shortly after being discovered. I wonder how many players are only at max level because of this. Back in July of 2019, a player called Beckboy found one of the craziest glitches ever. He somehow accidentally pressed C while having a chop fruit equipped, then switched it to his sword, and he started flying. But not like the usual flying glitches. This one was actually controllable, and it was way faster and a better way of transportation than light fruit. Anyone who got caught using this glitch was banned, so it's definitely a good thing they patched it. Over a year ago, Blox fruits players found one of the most powerful glitches in the game, and safe to say it had to be patched as soon as possible. You were literally able to get any item in the entire game for completely free. You just needed enough money to buy that item, and all you had to do is reset your character right before you click buy. Once you respawned, you'd have the same amount of money, but also the new item. This even worked on fighting styles, and let players get way too overpowered without paying a penny. Have you been playing long enough to remember this? There's no way you know what a Gum Bazooka is. Gum Bazooka was the bazooka's X move. But what was interesting about it is that a glitch allowed you to be faster than anything. You had to press X and then quickly talk to the fruit dealer and equip an ice fruit. With this glitch, you were able to travel from island to island in seconds. How would you use this glitch? Let me know in the comments below. It's been ages since we started hearing rumors about a new weather system, and finally it's here. Well, almost. We're still limited with information, but we now know this system will be used in Tiki Outposts and sea events. So does this mean it'll always rain in Tiki Outposts? Who knows? There's a leak that shows rainy weather, but keep in mind that developers also promised us for extreme weather conditions, such as storms, fog, whirlpools, and so on. I can't wait for this to be released. Sure, those freshly reworked swords look fantastic, but a new sword would be even more interesting. And it is! I present to you Shark Anchor, a legendary sword you can only get by being the last person to deal damage to a terror shark with an anchor attached, but only with a monster magnet that can be crafted from the Shark Hunter. It deals a lot of damage, and all of its moves are AoE, and they deal damage to multiple enemies at the same time. Its Z move makes you spin the sword around on a chain, catch any enemies near you, and then toss them. When your enemy hits an obstacle or reaches its maximum distance, a water eruption spawns below him and then launches him directly into the sky. That's a crazy one, even though there's a short cooldown. It still breaks instinct, and its X move launches you forward, performing an uppercut with the sword. Enemies you hit with this move will be dragged along and slammed down, creating an anchor symbol on the ground if performed close to it. It's also recognizable by creating a pink shatter and red slash effect, and apparently it deals more damage if used against big targets. Update 20 also released 4 new accessories, ranging from hats to necklaces. The first one is called Leviathan Crown, and it's a legendary accessory that's more useful than you might expect. It gives you 12% more damage on melee attacks, 35% more damage on sea events, speeds up health regeneration by 25%, and gives you 40% higher chances of dropping materials from sea events. It even gives you an extra instinct dodge. You can craft it at the Beast Hunter NPC, but the next accessory is Leviathan Shield, which is a mythical accessory that boosts your defense against melee, sword, and gun attacks by 15%, boosts your defense on sea events by 30%, gives you 90% more protection against sea damage, and 1,250 health points. This is so OP. But then comes the Terror Jaw. It's a legendary accessory that grants you 10% more damage on sword attacks, 10% cooldown reduction on any attack, 20% defense on sea events, and 200 energy and 200 health points. You can obtain it from the Shark Hunter and Tiki Outpost. But if you want to be a bit faster, save those shark teeth for the Shark Tooth Necklace. It's a rare accessory that gives you 50% faster sprint speed, plus 10 dash distance, and 25% more damage on sea events. You can obtain it from the same NPC that sells you Terror Jaw, but it's way cheaper. You'll only need 1 mutant tooth and 5 shark teeth. Now you may be wondering what all these materials I'm talking about are. They've also been added into update 20, and here's a list of them: Piranha Wing, Fool's Gold, Leviathan Heart, Leviathan Scale, Mutant Tooth, Shark Tooth, Terrorized Monster Magnet. To obtain any of these new materials, you must be above level 2450, or in other words, on Tiki Outpost Island. Once you're there, you need to get in a boat and travel at least 2,700 meters away from it, because that's where you'll hit threat level 6. The higher the threat level, the more sea events will take place, which means you'll face more NPCs, bosses, and enemies from whom you can get these new materials. Keep in mind that as the threat level rises, the enemies you face will also become stronger, so don't immediately go for the highest threat level until you're confident in yourself. To obtain a shark tooth, you will need to kill sharks. Luckily, you can easily identify them underwater. You can get piranha wings from piranhas in the sea, obviously. Mutant tooth and terrorize are obtained by defeating the terror shark raid boss that spawns during sea events, and I already explained how the Leviathan Heart is obtained. All you have to do is get out to sea, but equip yourself with some nice fruits because you'll need them. Trust me. Another addition in update 20 is 4 new titles. The first one is Terror Bringer. You earn it by defeating 10 terror sharks. The second new title is Serpent Slayer, and we still don't have a lot of information about this one. We only know that its color is dark blue, and you get it when you kill Levi a certain amount of times. The third new title is Abyss Tamer. You earn it when you clear 50 sea events. And finally, the last one is Nautical Bane, which is just Abyss Tamer but buffed up, because you'll need to clear 200 sea events to earn this one and show off its cyan color. To figure out how far you're away from the Tiki Outpost, or in which threat level you are, developers added a danger meter. It's a purple ring around your compass, and in my opinion, it's a game changer. Beside all these new additions and reworks, developers also focused on fixing a bunch of bugs and glitches. Unfortunately, some useful and fun glitches that worked before may not work now. But hey, at least our game won't be buggy. Sea events won't spawn on islands anymore, chests won't be floating in the sea, you won't be able to see red barrier in the sky, Kashida door quests will open normally from now on, and many more boat and fruit issues the game had are fixed. There are secrets about rubber fruit most of you don't even know, and yet they can make the fruit so overpowered. In real life, rubber rubber is a really bad electricity conductor, and so is it in Blox Fruit. So with anyone with any fighting style that uses electricity, they'll have trouble killing you. On top of that, rubber fruit makes you immune to the gun impacts. Definitely implement this into your strategy. A secret fruit not many players know about is called the meme fruit, and it literally looks like a traffic cone. The reason why you don't have it is because it's only for admins and moderators. It deals huge damage, but only to your friends. That's why it's called meme fruit. However, us ordinary mortals will never have it. Only admins and mods can abuse this one. This one is really useful for players who want to play in peace and keep all of the loot just for themselves. While launching the game, simply click on the servers and choose ascending. Here you will see a bunch of servers with 0 players, and just get into one. Now you have a whole map just for yourself. You can have a party with your friends or grind together. An ice fruit will allow you to walk on water without receiving any damage, and so will magma. But there's a way players without any fruits can walk on water and get 0 damage. Simply hold your space once you're in the water and your HP will remain full. I already told you about sea beast hunting, but how do you kill them quickly? The best fruits to use for this are definitely Shark Race and Magma V2. Magma V2's abilities are too overpowered for sea beast hunting, and the Shark Race lets you swim way faster. Magma will make sure those beasts get killed, and Shark Race will let you kill them even quicker. Everybody knows that the Electric Claw is one of the most superior fighting styles in the whole game, mostly because you can use it for grinding as well as for PvP. But for this, you need to upgrade it by going to Turtle Island in the 3rd sea and starting a quest from the previous hero NPC. You'll have to get to the mansion in under 30 seconds, which is pretty hard, but simply use a portal or lightning and get over there in just seconds. However, this one's not for players that are total beginners. Most of you know about the cursed ship, but not many of you know about the trick that will help you get rich just by looting chests found in the cursed ship.
Well, actually, you can only loot the cursed ship once.
Actually, that's false. When you're done looting it, just hop on another server and voila! Now you can loot it again. When you head over to the temple located on Upper Sky Island, you'll see a tunnel at the bottom of the temple. Use any ability you want to break that stone keeping you from entering the temple, and when you get inside, you'll find 8 chests. The best thing about this is you can just hop from server to server and keep farming the money. Ka-ching! Did you know that there's a way to make your head 10 times bigger in Blox Fruits? And it's bannable too! All you need to do is get your Buddha fruit, head over to the Awakening Expert located in the mansion on the 3rd sea. Unawaken your Buddha, transform into Buddha, then talk to the Awakening Expert once again. Awaken your Buddha and transform again. This time only your head will be transformed and you'll be walking around with a huge head. This looks around the size of my brain. Think twice before using this one in PvP. Giant Race allows you to become the size of an awakened Buddha user and use a different fruit at the same time. But it also has some major issues itself, including getting banned if abused in PvP. In order to actually get banned, you need a permanent Buddha fruit and another permanent fruit of your choice. You'll also need to complete at least 1 Buddha raid because you will need its Z move for this one. Use Z move, open up a perma fruit shop, find your other permanent fruit, and while clicking on equip, immediately press Z again. Now you will have the abilities of 2 fruits. It's normal to see a lot of messages saying error, disable your transformation first, and don't worry about that, but you should definitely be worried about getting banned. Alright, so apparently there's this glitch with a catch developers made just to see if someone will try to use it in order to get a better fruit. I don't want you to get banned, so I can't tell you everything, but there's a code you'll need to write in the chat and then roll a fruit. Will this work? Well, it definitely works, and now I'm definitely not going to share the code with you. And be careful next time you're typing in a code, because who knows, maybe you'll type in the wrong one. Did you know that you can get banned if you choose a bad name for your crew? While you're making a crew, make sure to choose a proper name for it, because I have seen leaders of crews getting banned just because of how they name their crew, even if it's not offensive at all. How would you name your crew if you couldn't get banned? Comment down below. Do you want to send your opponent into a black hole? This is what you need to do. First, get an Awaken Dark's World of Darkness move. Hold the move for at least 35 seconds or more, and when you release it, the ball will be above you forever. You can stack this forever, and when you finally release it, your opponent might be facing a real black hole. Now, if they report you, don't say it's my fault you got banned. You wouldn't believe how powerful Buddy Sword actually is. There's a Buddy Sword glitch that lets you auto-aim enemies. To do this, you need to hold the X move and hold the minimize down to the screen, and then release everything at once. Now your Buddy Sword will lock onto enemies, which is literally a cheat. This will easily get you banned if an admin sees you using it, and it will probably also get you reported. If you ever wanted to have infinite agility, this is what you should do. Get a Rabbit V3 and Barrier F move. First activate agility, then hold the Barrier F move, and that's it. This will keep the speed boost from agility until you run out of energy, or until you release
Barrier's F move.
Most players don't know that you can actually equip 2 fighting styles at the same time. If you want to blow your friend's mind, do this by equipping either the Dark Step or Dead Step fighting style, and make sure to have the final ability unlocked. Once you've done this, you can now use the Overheat ability, which will set your legs on fire. Then just head over to an ability teacher and get the Sharkman or Electric fighting style. Equip it and now you have double powers. The process is similar for getting this next title, but the previous title is still slightly better. This one is Celestial Swordsman. It's yellow, and once you get it, you unlock Tushita. I'll just say that you need to be at least level 2000 in order to obtain this sword, and obviously this title. This next title sounds pretty cool, but it'll only take you 30 seconds to get it. Well, not really, but you need to unlock Electric Claw, which means you must get to the mansion from the floating turtle in under 30 seconds. You can simply set mansion as your spawn point, use home button, and voila! Then once you pay 3 million belly, Electric Claw will be unlocked, and you'll get the title, Raiton. And if you think that's difficult, watch this. In order to obtain this next title, which is blue colored and called Shadow Sovereign, you'll need to defeat Rip Indra in his true form. Rip Indra uses Darkblade V2 as his primary weapon, that is until his health gets low. Then he gets all of his HP back and let's say awakens to his true form. In his true form, Rip Indra uses Darkblade V3, Black Bomb, and Black Pillar. Comment down below if you have this one, and props to you if you actually do. The God's Chalice is a crucial item that plays an essential role in the endgame, and upon obtaining it, you get the title The Chosen One. But there's a catch. There's a few different ways you can obtain this item, but for getting this particular title, you must get the God's Chalice from the chest. A chest which is at least 4 hours old gets a chalice, so you'll need to camp by the chest for 4 hours and make sure no one gets it. The Citizen's Quest is required to be completed in order to access Instinct V2, but no one is talking about the title you get once you complete this quest, probably because it's gray, but it makes you the main character. Literally, the title says main character. This one would be way cooler if it had a title no other title has. Secret aura colors are only obtainable via quests. There's 2 of them, but today we'll be talking about Rainbow Savior, which can only be obtained through the quest. Just like all the other aura colors, this color is purely cosmetic, and it will not boost your defense nor your attack. It also can't be bought with Robux, so it means it'll take you some hassle to get it. And at this point, I'm asking myself, is the hassle really worth the gray final hero title? I don't know. You tell me. Even though bones are an uncommon material, if you collect 2,000 of them, you'll get one amazing title, Death King. And this time we don't have a gray title, but a blue one. Now that's what I'm talking about. Finally, we've got to the last gray title on the list, and all you need to do to get this Shinigami title is defeat Soul Reaper once. Well, it's not that easy, since Soul Reaper is a level 2100 raid boss who uses the Hallow Scythe and deals 2,000 to 3,000 damage per hit. Not all players get to buy perm fruits because we get Robux only for birthdays. Players who have bought perm fruit usually buy 1 or 2. But did you know that only 0.07% of Blox Fruits players have bought all the permanent fruits? Those players must be millionaires in real life. MyGame43 is the developer, owner, and admin of Blox Fruits, as well as a few other similar games. But what's shocking are the chances of you actually meeting him. You've only got a 0.003% chance of meeting MyGame43. Don't even try to tell me you met him. We all know you're lying. Meeting Rip Indra is an even bigger flex than meeting MyGame43, because you've got a 0.0025% chance of meeting Rip Indra, Blox Fruits' main developer. I know I will never meet him, but thank you Rip Indra for making such a great game. What's crazier than a Darkblade? Triple Darkblade, obviously. The Triple Darkblade is a mythical and semi-obtainable sword. It's called semi-obtainable because it isn't obtainable by normal players, as it is an admin/staff exclusive item that can only be given out by developers of the game. These developers will most likely not be going around and handing out Triple Darkblades, so because of that, the chances of getting one are 0.001%. Like, you've literally got twice as big of a chance to meet Rip Indra than to get a Triple Darkblade. But this is one of the rarest things that ever happened to a player while opening a fruit dealer's stock in order to get a fruit. When this guy opened the stock and saw that both Gravity and Venom were in the stock, he was shocked. When combining the chances of getting these fruits, we come to the chance of this happening being only 0.02%. The chances of Leopard spawning in one server are already low enough. But what if I told you that the chances of Leopard spawning in every Blox Fruit server at the same hour is literally impossible? And when I say impossible, impossible. I mean 1 in 400 to the 29,000th power. This can't even be written out in a percentage. It would have like a million zeros. But I told my friends I once spotted oh yeah, I don't have any friends. The Azure Ember is a legendary material used for trading with Kitsune Shrine. You can get various items from him in exchange for Azure Embers, money, frags, accessories, and even titles. The max Azure Embers you can carry is 25, and it's really tricky to obtain these. First, you'll need to find a server with a full moon. Then go to danger level 6 during the full moon, and wait for a text saying a mysterious shrine has appeared in the sea. Once you see that, you should also be able to see Kitsune Island right in front of you. Get onto the island and interact with Kitsune Shrine. Once you interact, you should see a text saying the full moon shifts into a deep shade of blue. Now the moon is in the state of a blue moon, and you have 5 minutes to get Azure Embers. The Azure Embers should spawn near you, approximately 2 to 5 embers every 30 seconds. In order to get them, you need to chase them and touch them. And like I said, the max cap for Azure Embers in your inventory is only 25, but you can collect more than that. They just won't show in your inventory, obviously. The chances of obtaining 50 Azure Embers in one go is only 1.201%, and to this day, I've never met someone who did this. What's your high score? Moving on to the next fruit called Hollow. Hollow fruit has 4 moves, and the first one has a really creepy name. It's called Breath of Demon's Blood, and it's an area of effect move that launches your enemy into the sky. The second move is called the Scream of Death. Gosh, what's up with these names? This move not only looks good, but it sounds good too. Or should I say scary? Anyone affected with this move gets automatically blinded, which is a great feature for PvPs. I thought these names were really creepy, but the next move is called Explosion of Blood Demon. This move looks really good. It drops blood from the sky that accumulates and then explodes, sending your enemies back into the first sea. The last move is called Devil's Blood Transfusion, and for a change, this name is hilarious. This move is also an area of effect move, Explosion to be more precise, but a slightly smaller one. Yeah, I'm done with these names, they're super weird. The next fruit is called Acceleration, and I hope this one has something to do with speed, because I'd love to be faster than leopard users. The first move is called Photosynthesis, and I think that's more of a flower fruit thing, but alright. This move spawns tree sprouts in front of you, with flowers dealing knockback damage. Honestly, this one would suit the flower fruit way better. The next one is called Erosion, and it makes the ground around you literally explode, leaving a small crater. I like that one, but what does it have to do with acceleration? The third move is called Hypothermia, which almost sounds like hypothermia, which is when you get way too cold. You already know what I'm about to say. This move would suit the fruit like snow or ice way better. Oh, what? This move lights you on fire, and then launches a huge fire spear. This doesn't make any sense. First, because it's called hyperthermia, which pretty much makes it sound cold, and then because wouldn't lighting yourself on fire hurt? I'm so confused. Here we have another Kitsune accessory, and this time it's Kitsune Ribbon. It's a cute looking accessory that can be obtained the same way as Kitsune Mask. This accessory gives you 10% more defense on fruits damage, 15% faster health regen, 30% faster movement speed, plus 7 dash distance, 25% faster flash step cooldown, and a whopping 2500 energy. Now that's what I call an energy boost. What's better than a pale scarf? Many accessories if you ask me, but the community tends to love the pale scarf anyway. This accessory gives you 15% more damage on fruits and swords, 2 extra instinct dodges, and 10 times larger instinct vision range. The pale scarf can be obtained after defeating the Cake Prince boss or the Dough King boss and dealing 10% or more damage to them. Now here we have something even more interesting, Terror Jaw. This accessory gives you 10% more damage on sword attacks, 10% cooldown reduction on any attack, 20% defense against sea events, and plus 200 energy and health. Terror Jaw can be obtained from the Shark Hunter in the Tiki Outpost, but you can also craft it yourself if you have 1 Terror Eye, 2 Mutant Teeth, 10 Fool's Gold, and 5 Shark Teeth. The defense against sea events this accessory gives you is really worth your time. This next accessory is obtained by killing the Blox fruit's owner. I'm talking about Valkyrie Helm, which you can obtain after defeating Ripinge or Raid Boss. I think it's pretty easy to obtain since at this point you spend quite some time in the 3rd sea, and the buffs this accessory grants the player are 15% more damage on sword attacks and plus 600 energy and health. Leviathan Shield is the accessory that makes it impossible to die in water because it reduces sea damage by 90%. Besides that, this accessory also gives you 15% more defense against melee, sword, and gun attacks, 30% more defense against sea events, and a staggering plus 1000 health. This accessory can be crafted through the Beast Hunter NPC at the cost of 1 Mirror Fractal, 30 Leviathan Scale, 10 Electric Wings, and 20 Fool's Gold. It's very hard to obtain, considering you'll need 30 Leviathan Scales, which can only be dropped while defeating the Leviathan Raid Boss. The next up is Santa Hat, and this accessory is also bought from Santa Claus at the price of 500 candies. Santa Hat gives you 12.5% more damage on fruit and sword attacks, 30% faster running speed, and plus 400 health and energy. But wait, wait, that's not it. There's one more accessory that's unobtainable. It's called DS Code. DS stands for Diamond Syndicate, a crew that originally won the July 2019 tournament. The members of the crew obtained this coat, and the owner of the crew also received access to the /disguise command in game. The coat had the crew's logo in the middle and was completely custom made. However, this cape was removed from the game because one of the group admins made this accessory available to buy using Robux. Since then, the only players you can see wearing this accessory are admins. The buffs this accessory granted the player are pretty weak. 5% more damage on all attacks, plus 200 energy and health, and a custom ability that's broken. However, having the proof that you once owned this is the biggest flex you can have in all of Blox Fruits. If you haven't been playing Blox Fruits since 2018, then I'm sure you never got to see poneglyphs in the game. Poneglyphs were large stones with carved inscriptions on them, added to the game between Update 10 and Update 12, but quickly removed on Update 13. They were located on the Snow Mountain and the Cave Island in the Second Sea, and the community actually doesn't know too much about them, with most believing that they were just a hint about an awakening for the rubber fruit. I feel sorry for you if you never got to open a cursed chest. Those were just way too fun to open. Upon collecting a cursed chest, 3 evil wraith or bone wraith would spawn and attack you, and after defeating them you could get 3 things. 4 to 8 bones were guaranteed to get, but you were lucky if you ever got 10 minutes of double XP, let alone a ghost fruit, as that was just way too rare. In the second and third sea, opening these chests would also give you 50 to 125 fragments, which was actually quite a good way of farming fragments. Speaking of fragments, have you ever heard about rare artifacts? Rare artifact was an item dropped by the Darkbeard raid boss, with a 100% chance that could be used to unlock certain items or services. It functions similarly to the Fist of Darkness, disappearing from the player's inventory upon death or leaving the game. With them, you are able to buy Flower Ship, Dragon Breath, Kabucha, Stat Point Reset, or even a race change. However, rare artifacts were removed a long time ago, in Update 11 to be more precise, which happened back in 2020 and got replaced by fragments. Comment down below which currency seems better to you, rare artifacts or fragments. Have you ever heard about Swan Ship? This ship was obtained by defeating the Dawn Swan boss. It had a 100% chance to drop if you had dealt at least 10% of the total damage. It cost 5,000 belly to spawn, and it had 2,500 HP and 4 cannons. But best of all, it had Black Swan figurehead as well as wings on the sides. However, Swan Ship was removed in Update 20 and replaced by Guardian. If you never got to see a speedboat in the game, trust me, you should just be thankful. Speedboat is definitely one of the ugliest boats Blox Fruits has ever seen. However, it was really fast, and the fact that it was only purchasable if you had a fast boat game pass already tells you enough. Speedboat was removed from the game in Update 20 and replaced by Miracle. If you ask any OG player what's their favorite boat in Blox Fruits, they'll definitely say Enforcer without any thinking, despite the fact that Enforcer got removed in Update 20 along with the other boats. Enforcer was the smallest but fastest boat in Blox Fruits, which had only 1 seat and could be bought from the luxury boat dealer for 1,000 belly, which means you needed a fast boats game pass if you wanted to be able to purchase Enforcer. And once again, it was removed in Update 20 and replaced with a much bigger Sentinel. Evil Wraith was another NPC featured in a ghost event. Just like Bone Wraith, we expected him to stay in the game even after the event was over, but once again he got removed. He was a level 2,550 NPC, and upon killing him he dropped 3 to 8 bones, along with a small chance of double XP for 10 minutes or the ghost fruit, just like the cursed chest. Flower Ship is definitely the most known removed boat, just because in order to unlock it, you had to talk to the cyborg NPC, who was located behind the factory in one of the arches, and you had to pay him 1.5 thousand fragments. It had 2,500 HP, 4 cannons, and a small Easter egg bank hidden in the highest flag. It was really good for fighting on the sea because its cannons were located in the front, which meant that they had a bigger angle. In fact, this boat was able to fire at an angle bigger than any other ship. If you know who Wenlock Toad Over Heaven was, then I have huge respect for you. Wenlock Toad Over Heaven used to be the Awakening NPC, and when you talk to him, the name would display as King Wenlock Toad Sama Over Heaven in the dialogue window. However, he was replaced in Update 13 to the mysterious entity. Comment down below if you'd like to get Wenlock Toad back. One of the best ways to make sure you level up fast is to get Hockey as soon as you can. It only costs 25,000 belly, making it quite affordable level, even when you're just starting out. To get hockey, you'll first need to save up the money, then head over to Snow Island, and go inside this cave, where you will find the ability teacher, who sells it to you. Once you have hockey, it's super important to level it up as fast as possible. The smartest way to do this is actually to have weaker opponents hit you. This will increase your hockey super quickly, but you have to make sure to not let yourself get killed. It's even smarter to just always leave your hockey on, since there are no negative effects on its abilities, and you will constantly be able to work on leveling it up. A common mistake way too many players make is changing their fighting style. The reason for this is that you want to keep your stats in only 3 different categories, making sure to spread out your stat points evenly for maximum effectiveness. Just make sure not to be a gun main. A great way to get EXP fast when you're first starting out is to head over to Fountain City and attack a galley pirate using this method. Simply hit a galley pirate and then run behind a wall. You can keep punching it, but it won't be able to hit you at all. It's also smart to use a double EXP code before killing it to make this even more useful. Most of you probably didn't know that some of your favorite Blox Fruits YouTubers made their own versions of leveling up guides. That's right, you can follow the same steps your favorite YouTuber did that got them to max level. This is one of the safest options, and if you're wondering how to find these, just search up the name of the YouTuber along with the term leveling guide. Comment down below if I should make one of these. Some people still don't know that using an auto clicker in Blox Fruits is allowed. It makes life 100 times easier, especially when it comes to farming. All you have to do is turn on the auto clicker and stand on the spawn point of the user or NPC. Feel free to keep it running overnight and you will have a nice surprise when you wake up in the morning. Tons of new players don't know this one. There are 2 fruits in the game that give you PvP advantages. Chop fruits make you immune to any sword, and that's why it's one of the best fruits for new players that are fighting bosses. And a second way to become immune is to use rubber fruit, which makes you immune to any lightning attack. You should definitely write this down. Have you ever seen a player with a bounty of over 50 million? Yeah, probably not. But did you know that when a player this powerful joins a server, every player receives a message in the chat saying something like, "Beware, the god has arrived," and the name of that player? But seriously, what do you have to do to get a 50 mil bounty? Don't be a fool thinking Rip Indra is the strongest boss in the game. Everyone knows it's actually King. He's level 2300, uses Awakened Doe moves, and has exactly 1,111,500 HP. And Rip Indra only has 850,000. But at least he's the co-creator of the best game on Roblox. I bet most of you didn't know that you can become Rip Indra, but you will need to spare around $46,250 to get this satisfaction. That's right, the whole Rip Indra outfit costs 3.7 million Robux. So I assume Rip Indra will remain one and only, but we all have a friend who would buy this if they had the money. Here's a simple fact most of you definitely didn't know, probably because you've never had sand fruit. If you eat sand fruit and jump in the water, you will take twice as much damage. That makes some sense, but at least NPCs won't be able to hit you since sand is an elemental fruit. Most of you think that light is the fastest fruit in the game, but it's actually not. A portal fruit is obviously much faster. Portal's world warp ability lets you travel anywhere on the map, and I mean anywhere. Teleporting is the fastest way of traveling, and you can also bring your friend. But I think it's too expensive since traveling is the only thing you can use it for. That's not worth 1.9 million. Did you know that boats can fly? It's so simple to do this, but just a tiny number of players know about this. All you have to do is take a control fruit, create a dome with its first ability, and launch your boat into the sky. That's almost as fast as the portal. If you still don't have requirements to fight Ice Admiral, but for some reason you want to hang out with him, you can go into the cave on the Snow Island and use a flash step to get through the doors. You won't be able to fight him though, but he can still do damage to you. I guess he doesn't like to hang out. Did you know that the barrier in Underwater City is actually breakable? When you get there, go over to the place NPCs spawn, you know what I mean, on the side where the barrier is. It's pretty simple to get through it. You just have to run at it on an angle where the corner is, and there you go. It's not so useful though. Did you know if you go to Sky Island, you will find a house that looks like a church? But that's not it. There's a chance of a diamond chest spawning there. And if you look up, you'll see a code that gives you 1 belly. Enjoy. There's a specific blue house you can walk in located on the Sky Island. It's super easy to notice. There's nothing lootable inside, but you will find a misc that will spawn a letter on the floor. You won't be able to read this letter though, since it's only for those who are completing the quest for getting a Dark Blade V2. It's good to know for the future. future, combining a magma fruit with the word infinite must sound too good to be true, but it almost is. And the only requirement is to have magma fruit. Just activate magma floor while in a fight and run around your enemy, or let them get close to you if they can. It's not something that's hidden, but it's a pretty good way to prank your friends. I don't think there's an easier tactic to master any weapon. Head over to the last island in the game and get one of the NPCs to one-shot however you want. Then just pull out the weapon you want to master and finish off the NPC using it. Now you just have to repeat it a few more times and you'll have successfully mastered a weapon. That's insane. I know everyone is starting to hate the basic fruit dealer. He never has anything good in stock. The advanced fruit dealer has way better fruits, and the minimum number of fruits he can have in stock is 7, which is much more compared to the 3 that a basic fruit dealer can have. And one more thing we all hate about the basic fruit dealer is the restock time, which is 4 hours. That's one more point for the advanced fruit dealer, because his restock time is half, only 2 hours. If you have access to Mirage Island, he's definitely the better option. If you still don't believe that Blox Fruits is based on the One Piece anime, here's another proof. After eating a chopped fruit, you will become immune to sword attack, even the strongest and sharpest ones, which is a perfect way to prank new players. If you played Blox Fruits when Sky Jump was infinite, it was probably your favorite ability because of how overpowered it was. As long as you had energy, you could spam Sky Jump and reach the skies. No wonder why developers realized so quickly they should nerf it, which they sadly did. The current level cap for Blox Fruits is 2450, but years ago it was only 300. Max Island in the game was the Coliseum, which is just so funny now. It was the end of the game once you reached it, and the second sea didn't even exist. Do I really have to say anything about the third sea? Luckily, developers expanded the whole game. It would be really sad if that's where the game ended. If you've ever tried to pray in Blox Fruits, hoping you'll get something, you know how often it can just be a waste of time. But if you somehow manage to get Hallow Essence and God's Chalice by praying, you'll be rewarded with the dark red title that says the Devil's Luck. Imagine having a pink Doe Commander title. That would be so cool. And best of all, it's actually obtainable. Just get to the Cake Prince and kill him. Well, that's not just considering he's got over 700,000 HP, but it's doable. Trust me. What title do you get once you kill the Doe King? Well, the Doe King title, obviously. You gotta be quick though, because this guy has 1,111,500 HP, and you need to kill him in less than 7 minutes and 30 seconds, or he'll despawn, and you won't get the title. You know what would be a real flex? Owning a title that comes from the level 6 Sea Danger. In order to get this Blue Serpent Slayer title, you'll need to defeat Leviathan. Leviathan doesn't take damage from M1 attacks, except for Kitsune, Leopard, and Mammoth Transformation M1, or single target attacks. And you can say he's similar to a sea beast. There's simply no way you're killing him alone. So gather some friends and do it together. At least one of us will have this title, and that's never me. Blox Fruits map is 97% sea, and some people take that for granted. I mean, they spend most of the time on the sea, often hunting sea beasts. But did you know that after you kill 200 sea beasts, you get this cool Nautical Bane title that has an amazing shade of blue? This one might be my favorite. Kitsune is one of the most recent fruits added to the game, and along with the fruit and NPCs, there are a few more new things such as this new blue tail beast title. You can get it from the new NPC called Kitsune Shrine if you offer him 15 to 25 Azure Embers. Go out there and test your luck, because besides this item, there are 8 more things you could potentially get. And last but not least, we've got a bonus title, which is arguably one of the craziest in the whole video. The title is yellow and it says equal to the heaven. The only way you can obtain this title is if you kill a staff member, an admin, moderator, dev, anyone. But just imagine how hard it is to do so. I don't think I'll ever have this unless one of the Blox Fruits admins lets me do it. On the desert island in the first sea, there's a chest sitting by the pyramid. Once you loot it, you'll open a secret tunnel that leads to an NPC called Hassan. You can buy a swordsman hat from him that gives you 10% more sword damage, no matter which sword you've got equipped. The quickest way to boost your bounty would be to go to John Luke Island, a tiny hidden island located in the first sea. Then find an NPC called Mob Leader and kill him. Each time you kill him, your bounty raises for about 3,000. In only 1 hour, you can pump your bounty up to 180,000 because he respawns every minute. Fighting someone with observation haki is the most annoying thing. There are many fighting styles that can fight against observators, but in case you don't have any, simply get a gun and upgrade it to get an observation block. Now use it at the beginning of the fight and then spam all of your abilities without your enemy blocking them.